Elden Ring leaks forge intrigue and concern. Change finally comes to Pokemon games, potentially in the form of derivative garbage, and these game publisher streams continue to disappoint. Where is E3? Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 258 of the It's Obvious podcast. My name is Garrett Drake. I'm joined online by Jacob Alka.
Good morning, Garrett.
And Preston Pugh.
Good morning. That was a very, negative sounding intro there.
I was being sarcastic, but in every bit of sarcasm, there's at the very least a hint of truth. It's great to see you both, as always. It is a beautiful Sunday morning in Atlanta, Georgia. It is a brisk, roughly 40 degrees. And the day ahead looks bright, gentlemen. And I can't ask for a better way to begin the day than talking video games and catching up with you both, because I love you to bits, and I can't wait to hear what you've been up to. How are your weeks?
I've been okay. Not too much happened this week or the week prior. Just been hanging out, playing games, watching some shows, reading some books, working out, and of course, just being big bootied like I am. Just doing my thing.
Big booty, huh?
Yeah, just trucking this thing around. Living my life.
Trucking that dump truck ass. It's good that you don't work for Disney, dude. They would probably cancel your ass. That's what I've been hearing. I mean, granted, I think someone made a good point on Twitter. It was like Pixar can get away with just exaggerated features, but classic Disney cannot.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't even Disney. I'm thinking, that's WB I'm thinking of with the memes about, what's her name again? Lola Bunny?
Lola Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
That is so funny, dude. Man, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the trailer for that. I don't know why they've waited this long to reveal that trailer. They've been teasing it for so long.
I haven't been keeping up with it at all. I didn't even know it was made or anything.
Yeah.
Or if they were even
if Michael
doing
Jordan doesn't have at least a cameo, I don't know how I'll feel about it.
Yeah. What if he's like the coach?
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool, actually. I'd love to see LeBron and Michael Jordan interact.
Yeah, everyone wants to see a one-on-one, but I don't think we'll see that.
If he had if he had a legit role in this, I think we would have heard about it by now.
For sure. Plus, if you've seen The Last Dance, Michael Jordan looks like he just doesn't care about anything anymore. In a good way. Like, he's still obviously very respectable and he has a lot of cool stuff to say, but I feel like if WB's like, hey, we'd love for you to act with LeBron in Space Jam 2, it'd be like, leave me alone. We'll see.
Go away. Yeah, he is kind of a jerk sometimes on camera, but
that's all right though. It's almost like I respect it. I don't think, at least from what I've seen, obviously I haven't seen the whole man's life, but a lot's been documented. I don't think he's ever really done anything that I've been like, oh, I don't like Michael Jordan anymore. But what else have you guys been up to?
Preston, you been up to anything?
No, not really. Just working and playing games for the most part.
Seems like we had pretty similar weeks.
Yeah, pretty much for the most part. My big out-of-town trip got pushed till next month, so I'm just doing a bunch of in-town stuff for the remainder of this month. So
cool.
That's allowing me to kind of chill out a little more before I head off. So,
yeah.
But
we've been getting a little bit better weather as of late. You guys been enjoying that? I certainly have.
Yeah, there have been some nice days for sure. I've been to the park a lot with Den.
Nice.
We're in that limbo phase between winter and spring in Georgia, though, where in midday it feels really good, but as soon as the sun starts to dip, it's freezing cold again.
Yeah, you got to get inside.
So
yeah, I went for
very much looking forward to the spring.
I went for a run in the park yesterday, and weather was excellent.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to go do that today.
It is great running weather.
I want to go run today after the podcast. I'll have a small lunch after this, and I just feel like running, so that's what I'm going to go to.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot to silence my phone. How unprofessional of me.
I haven't run in a while. I've been doing kind of other forms of cardio, like bike riding or elliptical, or I'm really into jumping rope recently. So yeah, it's the first time I've ran in a few weeks, and definitely feeling it in my grundle / quad area, whatever that is.
Your grundle?
Yeah.
Explain to me what the grundle is.
It's kind of my inner thighs, that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it there. But Yeah, it's good. I really enjoy running, especially in a outside when the weather is extremely nice.
It's very. It's almost like taking a hike or something. It's just kind of liberating to be out in the sun. And
dude, there were people on the trail like full on like double masked up running, and I'm like, more power to you, but I would be literally dying if I did that. So
I need to do some running myself because Zach and I are about to start this men's basketball league. It's like 8 weeks long on Friday nights. And it would be the first time Zach and I played basketball on the same team in over a decade. And it's with a few of the guys he works with at his new job. And I think Evan Mitchell, our old buddy, is going to join the team as well. It's like the last team member. So the three of us teaming up again for the first time in a long time should be fun. But I haven't run consistently in a few months now, so I need to get back out there just for the sake of running up and down a basketball court. Yeah. But looking forward to that. I had something else to say in regard to that. I can't remember what it was, though. It may come back to me. Jacob, what's that shirt you're wearing?
It's a North Georgia shirt. I think Zach actually gave it to me, speaking of which. Nice. But, yeah, it's just a shirt I sleep in. I just rolled out of bed and got on here.
Nice.
Had a little breakfast, but, yeah.
Sweet.
But I'm here. I'm ready to talk,
What was like a highlight of your week? Like work-wise or game-wise? Or I guess we'll talk about what we've been playing here in a bit. But anything that really
honestly,
out?
It's going to be like a game thing because I haven't really been doing much the last couple of weeks. I was talking to a girl, but I decided to cut ties with her because, I don't know, she wasn't that interesting to me. Just to be frank. So
you're like trying to explain to her Ease 9 and she didn't care, so you just cut her.
What's it called again?
You're like, you're not hearing me.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of relieving because I was like, man, how am I gonna like weasel my way out of this because I don't want to see her anymore. But no, she actually kind of felt the same way, so we mutually parted ways after like 3 dates, which was cool. That's not really a highlight, but that was like the most adventurous thing that I've been doing as of late. Yeah, I last night watched the finale of Wandavision. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, let's touch on that without spoiling real quick. Yeah, tell me your thoughts just generally.
After have seen the whole show, I think I appreciated it a little more. Just the whole show overall. Early on, I think it really struggled with just like why was it even relevant to begin with. But like I just said, looking back on it, it makes a lot of sense, and it's just like I enjoy the whole show and its formula, I guess you could call it, more so than I did previously. The ending I like the ending a lot. I enjoyed the pseudo villain. I don't know if she was really a villain. Like I guess she was, but
yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy the whole interaction between them, and I guess sort of the consequences that have come from the show. So, I thought all the performances were pretty spot on. I think everyone did a good job.
It reminds me. It makes sense too. This is, I technically Far From Home was like the onset of like the next big phase of Marvel, but in terms of Scarlet Witch in particular, this is very much the beginning of a bigger story. And it reminds me of early Marvel days where we're like, oh man, just wait till like the Avengers or wait till the next
just wait till
team
like
up
6
movie.
movies from now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd say overall the show was a lot of fun. I did appreciate the creative nature of, I can never find the right word to describe what they did because they're not like, I guess you can just, the most basic way to describe is just mimicking these old TV shows. They're not really old, some modern obviously, but
each episode was like a different,
like different decade of like a famous show from that decade.
A different decade of television.
Yeah. So I appreciated that creative aspect of it. I really enjoyed, especially when it's dramatic chemistry between Scarlet Witch and Vision, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, I think together they're great.
I agree.
Some of the goofier, wackier stuff when they're like stuck in the TV world. I mean, it's entertaining, but I feel like their acting is far more impressive when they're in dramatic situations. So toward the latter half of the season, I really enjoyed that. The villain, although I don't even want to spoil. I'll just say the villain was not surprising, but I did really like that character a lot, and I'm hoping we see a lot more of that character going forward.
I'm sure we will, yeah,
to some degree, because I think she was incredibly entertaining. Did a great job. I think I just gave away the gender of this person. I apologize.
Yeah, I did earlier too. It's okay.
Okay, but she was great. I will say I made the same mistake that I did with the most recent Star Wars trilogy, in that I bought into fan theories. You may recall a couple weeks ago, Jacob, when you're like, "Oh yeah, like this show's okay," and I was like, "Oh, dude, just wait till you like hear the fan theories and the breakdowns. It gets crazy, dude."
Yeah.
And granted, a lot of the fan theories were generated by Easter eggs that were very intentionally placed in the show, but that turned out to be all they were Easter eggs. They weren't story points that were leading to some bigger revelation, unfortunately. So I got hyped for the potential revelation of these other characters, these other themes, these other story arcs that were famous from the Wandavision run in the comics that would have been awesome. But it just goes back. Kevin Feige is quoted as saying a long time ago, he's bound to keeping things simple for the most part. He doesn't like to overcomplicate things. So I should have known that watching the show, that he wasn't going to make it crazy and complicated, because at the end of the day, this was an incredibly simplistic story. Like there was nothing remotely confusing about it or complex. And I think that's what made the ending a little lackluster for me, because I think the strength was just the creative nature of the TV shows throughout the series. That was fun, but by the end, it was more or less classic Marvel in the final episode. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining, but it was just kind of disappointing in that sense. I will say Scarlet Witch's costume, I don't think this is a spoiler. It'll be definitely floating around the internet if it's not already, but her new costume, I think, looks freaking sick.
It's incredible. I think she has the best costume. Period.
Oh, yeah. I was like, that looks... I mean, I that's the thing about... I don't think there's ever been a Marvel costume that's really blown my mind. I've always liked them, but hers by far looks... probably the best. Like you said, it looks
if I was
so
like
good.
a sorceress or like a mage or something in an RPG, I would want to look like how she looks at the end of the show.
Yeah.
She looks so cool.
It does look very good. So stoked to see more of that. And I mean, even like the post-credit scenes set up some interesting stuff as well. And from what I understand, this movie directly impacts No Way Home with Spider-Man. It also ties into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So this is essentially part one of her greater story in this next phase.
I'm very excited to see how the new copy the new version of something is going to impact the rest of the series.
I really enjoyed that. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. I kind of touch on that a bit, but Vision essentially fights himself at the end, and we won't spoil what the revelation of that fight is or where it ends up, but it's a very, it starts out in a typical, like, oh, let's punch each other, but the way it plays out in the end is just very interesting and very in character for Vision. That I thought was really cool. I appreciated that. Something that's hilarious about that is people were taking the quotes from both Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany leading up to the finale of the show out of context, basically. Someone asked Elizabeth Olsen before the show aired, like, are there any crazy cameos in the show, like the level of Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah.
And all she responded supposedly was, oh, yeah, there's some cool little cameos throughout, but someone misquoted her saying that she said that there's a Luke Skywalker level cameo in this show. So everyone was waiting for that, and it never happened. So that confused people until it was clarified. And Paul Bettany actually it was a great troll joke opportunity. He said, there's an actor later in the show that I've been dying to work with my entire life. And he's like, it was a great honor to work with this guy. So everyone's like, who could it be? Like, is it Patrick Stewart from X-Men? Because, Quicksilver from X-Men is in this, which we got to talk. I don't want to spoil that, but that was a major, that was like a, what was it from Iron Man 3? The Mandarin all over again, basically. Yeah. Kevin Feige just being like, sorry, it's not what you think it is. But it turned out Paul Bettany was talking about himself because he acts against himself in the final episode. I thought that was so funny. And he said that for weeks, when people were speculating online what he could be talking about, they'd say like, oh, it's got to be like Patrick Stewart or Magneto or something. And Paul Bettany was like, man, those are great ideas. They're going to be really disappointed when they find out I'm talking about myself. Which I thought was great.
Like Secret's just giggling inside.
Yeah, there's one thing that really kind of bummed me out about these Marvel TV shows that I hadn't heard till yesterday. And Kevin Feige recently was quoted as someone asked him, like, if no one decides to watch, Marvel fans, if they don't want to watch these TV shows and only watch the movies, will they miss out on important story beats? He said, absolutely not. He said, technically, you can never watch these shows and you won't miss anything. Because he said they're written in a way that would not confuse people watching the movies. Now, on one hand, that's kind of a bummer, because the first question is, like, well, then why am I watching this? But I think the silver lining is that what you're getting out of these shows, if you're fans of even these B-level characters, you're getting a ton of extra character development.
Yep.
So I feel like you'll appreciate their appearances in movies that much more when they show up again.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a total waste of time. But that did kind of bum me out, thinking that nothing super impactful is going to occur in most of these shows.
It kind of makes sense to me, though. Like, these shows are for the super fans, and for the most part, I think pretty much every one of them are either B characters or, just people that people are kind of intrigued about, but, it's not like Spider-Man, it's not Iron Man, Thor, it's not like the big blockbuster action, stars. It's the,
right.
It's like the WandaVision, it's the Loki, it's Winter Soldier, Falcon, which are all great characters, but they're not like, the reasons we go to see Avengers, right?
Right, dude. I gotta let me pull this up real quick. This perfectly sums up what most fans' reactions were to this show, including my own. How do we go to our likes on Twitter? Like something we've liked before. Here it is, likes.
Should just be on your profile.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this meme of Vision talking to himself, and like Purple Vision to other Vision is like, her name is Wanda. Oh wait. It goes, do you know why the show is called WandaVision? And the other Vision's like, Wanda is using her powers to manifest her vision of a perfect family and broadcasting this vision in the form of a television sitcom. So I guess it's like a pun. Television, WandaVision, right? And the other Vision's like, her name is Wanda and my name is Vision. And the other one's just like shocked at that revelation. It's like the whole time everyone's like, oh, there's all these crazy plot twists and like secrets to be unveiled and blah, blah, blah. And at the end, she's like, nope, it's that simple.
Yeah.
So... Dude, one of the funniest quotes everyone's memeing right now is when it's that secret agent woman who got I don't want to spoil her, what happens to her, but she has been like going after Wanda the whole show to help her. And at the end, Wanda's like walking out of this town that she tortured for like a whole week. And they're all like scarred. And she's like, the lady to Wanda's like, they'll never know what you sacrificed. Wanda's like, oh yeah, well, they'll always see me the same. And I thought that was so funny that Wanda tortures these people. And the lady's like, you sacrifice so much and this town will never understand.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep.
Anyway, overall, I sound like I'm grilling the show, but it was entertaining. And I'm incredibly stoked for Falcon Winter Soldier. So,
yep. Yeah, well, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. It's not like one of those things that I want to go rewatch, but I enjoyed it for just being able to pop it on after a work on Friday night, and it was entertaining enough, I think, and it was good.
Yeah, I think it was fun. So I've heard the Falcon Winter Soldier episodes are much longer; they're closer to an hour.
Okay,
so that'll be kind of cool knowing that you wait a full week and have like a full hour of an episode is exciting.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, solid show. Definitely not by any means bad, but I was hoping for a little more creativity, a little more surprise, but
yeah,
I did enjoy it.
Well, I think we've been sort of conditioned to think that way with Marvel movies, so it's their own fault. Even though this wasn't a movie, it was a show, a side story.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. What have we been playing this week, boys? Unless you guys have anything, IRL that happened that you really want to talk about.
Not really. I only played two things very briefly, so I can go quick. I played Arkham City.
Again, you're on Arkham City again.
It's my fifth or sixth time through the game, but I just can't stop playing it because I've been watching nonstop Batman on HBO Max. I watched like 6 more animated movies this week.
Wow.
And I'm not going to go into all of them, but I think my favorites have been the New 52 run that WB did between like 2014 and like 2019. Like all of those are good, like Son of Batman, Batman vs. Robin. There's a few others in there that are really good with the same voice cast and style of animation. Like the action in those movies is phenomenal. The stories are all really strong. The character development is great throughout. So those have been really fun. One of the more interesting ones I'd seen, I'd never heard of this. It's called Batman Gotham Knight. And it's like 5 or 6 short films that are all animated in completely different styles from different studios. And it was really unique to see people's interpretation of Batman and like anime style, like really bizarre, almost impressionistic style, like all kinds of different styles that were just very interesting. But Kevin Conroy voiced Batman in all the shorts, which I thought was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But that's really awesome to check out too. But I watched Batman from '89. I watched Batman Returns. I watched Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, all the animated movies. So that's all I've been really doing, that and playing Arkham City when I have time. But aside from that, I just swung around to Spider-Man for like 20 minutes yesterday just for fun. Mm-hmm. The game's so good.
Yeah.
So that was the extent of my video game playing this week. I was fortunately busier than I had been in a while with work, so that's all I got to do.
Yeah, I feel like I say this every other podcast, but I need to like go back and platinum that game. I'm so close. I have like 2 or 3 trophies left, and they're just like the ones where you have to do takedowns from a certain way in the hideouts.
Right, yeah,
or
like
something.
from the roof or something, or like the side of a wall.
So I just, and I think I have to beat the game on New Game Plus, which I'm like 50% through. So I don't know. Maybe when I have my surgery, I'll go back and grind it out. See. Yeah. What about you, Preston? Preston Pig.
Hold on, my dog's freaking out.
Yeah, I've actually played a lot this week. I've watched nothing, which sucks because I keep seeing memes for Attack on Titan, and I just keep scrolling past them. There's like people, I have no clue who they are, so it's really concerning me that I'm gonna get like big time spoiled. So I've got to just hunker down and just catch up in like a night.
Yeah, but, I think it's almost to its like mid-season finale.
Yeah, I just need to suck it up, and that's the thing is like I love the show. Just for some reason, I'm just really into games right now. But anyway, so yeah, I'm back to my old form. I'm playing like 50,000 things at the same time.
Very good.
So I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I went back and platinumed Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I don't know why I had the urge to go back to that, but I was just kind of going through my trophy list, and I was like, man, that should be a pretty easy platinum. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Like they added some more trophies, that didn't exist in the original version, in terms of like, I think there's one trophy where you have to beat the entire game without dying, which sounds like a pain in the butt, but it's not. Like, you can just run through the missions on recruit and knock it out pretty easy. So yeah, I just knocked that out one night. Then, just yesterday, I woke up one morning and kind of wanted to play something kind of, relaxing, more chill. And I saw on PlayStation Plus this month, there was a game called Maquette, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it is a first-person puzzle game. So I decided to download that and give it a try. And I actually beat it and platinumed it in one sitting. And wow. I don't know if I would recommend this game if it wasn't a PlayStation Plus game, because it is very short and the story isn't that interesting. But I think it definitely is worth like looking into it. I think it has a lot of potential and kind of falls flat towards the end, because the whole premise of the puzzles have to do with like, man, how do I even explain it? That's what's so cool about the game, is that the whole premise is just so insanely I don't want to say confusing, because it's not that confusing. It's just hard to explain. It's like there's a diorama of the place that you're in. So for instance, if you
I'm looking at it.
If you have a key that's big in real life and you stick it outside and you go into the diorama, you can see the key inside the diorama, and then you can pick it up from the diorama, and it's a tiny key. And then if you want to make it bigger, you put it in the diorama, run outside, and it's like normal size. But then you can take that normal sized one, take it in the diorama, drop it, and it's like massive outside. And also the environment you're in, if you get outside of it, there's the same environment, but it's huge. So there's like a lot of item like manipulation in terms of like making things bigger and smaller and making yourself smaller to fit into places and stuff. It's extremely creative, but the game has like 5 levels and it only takes advantage of that mechanic for like 3 levels. And you know, there are a lot of things in this game that I felt like a genius figuring out. I was like, holy crap, like I am Einstein, like how I just figured this out.
I deserve this platinum.
Yeah, but they don't like build on it though. It's like the second you kind of figure out a mechanic and you're thinking like, oh man, like they can probably do so many cool things with this, they go to the next level and they just completely ditch that mechanic. So they don't really flesh out anything too much in this game, which is a little disappointing. But like I said, for a PlayStation Plus, you know, puzzle game that's not like too hard. Like if I suck at puzzle games, but I was able to, you know, sit down and beat it, you know, relatively quickly. And like I said, it made me feel like I was smart. Like there's some good puzzles in here. One disappointing thing is, and I don't get this, dude, this game, Bugsnax, why they run like absolute trash. On there's one part in this game, for the most part, like 80% of the time it runs fine. But there's like a part where I think it's the second or third level, you walk up to this wall and the frame rate goes to like 15 FPS if you stand near this wall. I'm like, who play tested this? This is a puzzle game that's like, why is this why are so many frames dropping right here? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Bugsnax. These kind of like smaller indie games, I don't know why they just run like trash. I don't know. But anyways, there was that game. Pretty fun. I re-downloaded Shadow of War. I don't know if it's because I was playing Assassin's Creed and I actually wanted a game with fun combat. So I re-downloaded that game, and I'm really enjoying that game. And like I said, dude, the combat in Shadow of War kicks Assassin's Creed ass so much. It's like not even funny. And I'm just gonna take a massive crap on Valhalla here in a second, even though I'm still playing it and I still feel like it's a good game. But I'll just get on that really quick. So I'm still playing Valhalla. I have to beat it. I have to platinum it. It's going to drive me crazy if I don't. I've already put in like 80 hours into it. But the more I play this game, the more infuriating it becomes to me. This game is way too big. It has way too many collectibles. This game has like 700 something collectibles, guys. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. I keep doing all these side stories that I could not care less about. Like the thing that hooked me with this story was the whole Assassins versus Templars thing, and I keep going off to these territories where they keep bringing up these stories about these random characters. I have no clue who they are. I do not care about them whatsoever, and I'm just speed running everything right now just so I can get back to the actual main story, because like I said, the main story is actually interesting and good, but there's like 18 territories that you have to take over.
18?
Yeah, dude, this game is massive in not a good way. It's too much of the same stuff over and over and over. And this is just, I know I'm like, everybody has been saying this for like a while now, but dude, these Ubisoft games have got to do something. And I don't think they will, because everybody keeps buying the shit out of them. But it is so just like, this is the epitome of what Ubisoft games have become. It's just this massive, beautiful open world with crappy combat for the most part. Well, I don't want to say crappy. I'm going to say average combat. And it's just the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's just becoming infuriating. I keep running into bugs too, dude. Like my horse will randomly not let me control him. I've glitched out of the map like 3 times this week. There's just screen tearing. Holy crap.
So.
All of a sudden there's just screen tearing out the butt, dude. And these massive like cities. I think I told you guys last week, like I'm finally getting to cities and it feels like Assassin's Creed. We have the performance, I guess, to keep the frame rate up. There's no like vertical syncing or anything, so it's just screen tearing like crazy, dude. I'm talking like if you just stand in the city and just like wave your camera around, it's like you're looking at like 6 different screens. It's tearing so bad. So yeah, anyways, hopefully I can beat this freaking game this week, dude.
You sure you want to?
I have to at this point, dude. I want to see it, the ending, and I have to platinum it. Like I told you, I'm back on my platinuming kick, and I just have to, I have to beat this game.
Well, I wish you luck. It doesn't sound fun.
It's fine. It's pretty much my podcasting game. I just sit down and throw on a podcast and run around and collect, the million collectibles that there are. But I will say Shadow of War, just going back to that is an extremely fun game. I kind of forgot about that game. I don't know why I thought of it again, but the combat is very fun. The whole Nemesis system thing is very cool. Did y'all ever play the Shadow of War, the second one?
Mm-mm.
I did not. Actually, I demoed it at PAX one year, but I never played the full thing.
Dude, it's really fun. Like, it improves a ton on the first game in terms of different environments, all the different things that you can do with the Nemesis system. The combat is the whole skill tree system and different things that you can do in combat. There is so much more than you could do in the first game. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was free on, the reason I even have it is I think it was a month or two ago's PS Plus game. So, and the Season's Pass was on sale as well for $10. So I just went ahead and bought that just in case I, wanted to do any of the expansion pass stuff or whatever. But yeah, super fun game. Been playing more Control as well. I'm just kind of also playing that game. It's a podcast game because I've already played through the story on PC, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't understand the story anyways if I was paying attention. So I'm kind of just using it as a fun, just like run around, shoot 'em up game, and it's a pretty easy platinum as well. Like it's pretty short and straightforward. So I'm just knocking that out as well. But onto the actual the good stuff that I've been playing this week. So. I finally beat Royal.
Yes.
I sat down before I played Strikers and I beat it, and just, man, the ending was everything I had hoped it would have been and more, dude. Freaking incredible ending. How it ties up the new semester and just the overall ending, dude. Absolutely incredible. I wanted to stand up in my room and give it an applause, a standing ovation. But yeah, dude, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I guess that's all I can say. Definitely don't want to say.
Yeah, please don't spoil it.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. I would never do that to anybody. But yeah, it was as good as I hoped it would have been. And dude, the new final boss fight is just so incredible as well. So very hard too. Jumping back to it, it took me my third try, but when I got it, it was, very satisfying. And like I said, just super awesome. So,
nice.
Yeah, beat that. Got the platinum for that. So I've got 3 Persona 5 platinums right now. I've got the dancing game, both of the Persona games. So all that's left is for me to platinum Strikers, which that is probably the game I've been playing most this week. And, dude, Persona 5 Strikers has shocked me or exceeded my expectations more than a game has. How do I say this? It has exceeded my expectations more than anything else has, as far as I can remember, honestly. I guess it was because I have been playing the other Musou game, Age of Calamity, which kind of I had higher expectations for that game, and it did not meet them in terms of story and stuff. Dude, this Persona 5 Strikers, especially going into that game right after Persona 5 Royal, and I know I've heard people say this, but I don't know if I didn't believe them or not, but this is a Persona sequel. It goes the way that the original game ends, and going into this game after Royal works as well. But the way that it just goes into Strikers, it is it does not skip a beat, dude. It's 4 or 5 months after the original game, and I don't see how you can play this game without finishing the original Persona 5, because they do not hold your hand at all, dude. It is straight into the story. They are referencing the first game, and not in a way of oh, you guys remember Kamoshida? And then Morgana's oh yeah, he was our teacher that did all of these bad things to kind of catch up people. No, dude, they are dropping just things with no context whatsoever if you didn't play the first game. So it is straight up just like if you didn't play the first game, you have no clue what's going on in terms like any of the references or anything. And I would say the same with like the characters as well, dude. Like the second this game starts, you have access to every character, and the menu system is exactly like Persona 5. So like in terms of switching out your item, you have your protectors, your weapons, your accessories, like all of that is exactly the same. Weapons, like the way the menu is laid out is exactly like Persona. So it's like you're just sliding right back into it, switching all your gear and stuff, switching out your personas, like you're fusing them like you would in the original game. But yeah, like I said, you have access to all these characters, and the character list is big. Like, you know, there's like 7 people, and if you're not familiar with these people and you don't know like what like elements they take advantage of and stuff, I don't see how you could like effectively like play this game without playing the original, because how are you supposed to know Yusuke does ice or An does fire and stuff? And they don't give you a tutorial for every character. Like it kind of gives you a brief like summary of who they are when you actually put them in your party. And on top of that, they add a new character as well, Sophia, who I'll get to in a second. But yeah, there's so much with this game. I don't even know where to start. I guess the story, first of all, dude, in how just good this is coming off of Persona 5. The main game is there's no like social links, there's no managing your days or anything, and I
what
love
do you do in your free time?
Well, that's the thing, is time stops in this game. There's
what?
Yeah, you just do stuff, and I love that about the original Persona 5 is managing all that stuff. But it's really cool to jump into this universe where everything looks the same and it plays like running around the town and stuff, but there's no days you have to go by. Like when there's no palaces in this game, there are these things called jails, and if you just want to leave a jail, that's fine. You can leave a jail, go do other stuff in the open world, and go back to the jail, and it's the same day. Like there's no pressure to finish anything in a particular like amount of time. And this game is just way more like straightforward and stuff. Like all the kind of like, you know, Garrett talks about when he plays this game, how it just kind of gets exhausting a little bit doing all that stuff. This game for the most part strips away all that stuff. It gets to the point. And I really, not that of course I didn't like that stuff in the original Persona 5, but just after I've already beaten that. I already put like almost 200 hours in Persona 5 Royal, so jumping into this game and things being a little more straightforward is just like almost like a breath of fresh air, because I'm still getting these characters, I'm still getting a very interesting story that is really awesome, and there's like a new villain who's doing things. Like there's a reason why everybody's back together. It's a road trip as well, dude. Like after the first jail you complete, you know, everybody gets together and they go on a road trip together. So I think this game is you're going from like different cities, and it's almost like it's pretty cool because of the way that it's almost like a tourist game as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're going to these different places, and they're actually like explaining what these cities are like, and like what the tourist attractions around here are. And I'm pretty sure they are, you know, these things exist in real life as well. So I think that's pretty interesting, kind of learning about these other, you know, Japanese cities and tourist attractions around those areas as well. But I need to kind of rein it in a little bit and talk a little more structured. But anyways, needless to say, in terms of it exceeding my expectations, like this is a full-on Persona game. The story is Persona. The characters are exactly the same. There is a lot of story in this game, like a lot. It's not like Age of Calamity where it's like they're sprinkling in a little story bits. Like this is a full-on Persona game with just different combat, and I didn't expect it to be like that. And I guess in terms of combat, I'm really glad I played Age of Calamity, because the combat is similar, but with adding the whole Persona system to this combat, I love it. Especially playing as Joker. him being the trickster, him being able to swap out different personas and stuff. He's obviously like the most overpowered character and the funnest character to play as because you can switch the personas. But yeah, you can cast any of your persona skills at any time by like holding down R1, and the whole like weakness system is still in it, so you can be abusing whatever the enemy's weak to. There's still all out attacks and stuff, but it's just in like a real-time combat like way. That's really cool. But one of the coolest things is that Joker's combos change depending on the persona that he has. Like for instance, if you have like Pixie, if you do like his 2-square attack with ending with a triangle, like square triangle, he will use Dia and heal himself, but it won't use any of his SP. So if you use the personas in your combo, you can use their attacks without consuming SP. Granted, I think it's a little bit weaker than if you're just using it outright, but I found a few like hints, like if you need to heal yourself, you can kind of just go into a corner and do his 2-button combo to like continue to heal yourself instead of like wasting your SP and just casting it on yourself. But it's the same with other characters as well. Like they can use their powers, but also in their combos they incorporate their personas. And I will say it's funny, my least used character in Persona 5 was Yusuke, but he is probably my most used character in this game because he is straight up like Devil May Cry, dude. With his sword, he is like slashing like 1,000,000 times a second, and he's doing like, he has this cool counter attack, or if you push triangle and somebody hits him, he just unleashes like 1,000 slashes on him. So he's really fun to play as. Then real quick, the new character, Sophia, which they call her Sophie in the metaverse. She is an AI that you meet, and
AI.
It sounds weird. And when they first introduce her, I'm like, I don't know about this, but about an hour into the game, she's freaking awesome. The way that they write her is great. She's super like, she doesn't understand like the way that people talk, so like the way that she interprets things and how she takes things super literally. There's a lot of like funny moments. So she kind of fits the whole group. She fits in like really well. You can actually play as her as well. She becomes a real person in the metaverse, and she has like these yo-yos, and she's more like she uses like she doesn't have a persona in it, which is funny because it has like persona abilities, but like with question marks next to them when you play as her. So if she like heals, it'll say like media, like question mark, because it's not like really sure what it is. But a majority of her attacks have like holy damage.
That's cool.
But what else? Like yeah, I guess all I could just say is like to kind of sum it up is this game has exceeded my expectations. And I know, Jacob, you texted me like, I don't know about playing this. You need to play this game. I'm telling you, dude. After
so much Persona,
dude, it's you can never get enough Persona, man. But it's different. It is so different gameplay wise from the original Persona, but it still has a really awesome story, really awesome character moments. And what's great is the game starts out and everybody's there. And you're not being like slowly introduced to like new characters and stuff, but it's so cool to just start the game with everybody interacting with each other. So you just get a lot of everybody. Like, dude, Haru in this game is amazing. I don't know if they decided to just write her better in this game or something, but she is so funny. Like, she will say the most like serious or like dark things, but like in her happy voice. And like there's a new character who keeps like picking up on that, and he's just like, it's like this new character and her their dynamic is really funny based on her like saying those things, the way that she talks and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's awesome. I'm enjoying it a ton. So yeah, highly recommend it. If you've played Persona, like I said, if you just jump into this game, you're not going to know what's going on, who these characters are. The menu system's going to be more complicated, but yeah, it's I know if you're turned off by Muso games or whatever, still play this game because it is totally worth it just to kind of be with these characters again and see this new story that does not feel like just some random side off game. Like I said, this feels like a legit Persona 5 sequel, and it's awesome. So
definitely
that's all I played.
I'll say that.
Yeah, dude, I cannot. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It is so good.
I'll get back to Persona 5 probably this week. I have this problem where like we've been shooting less. We've been shooting less and editing more recently. Like our shoots haven't picked up in a while. So like editing is such a tedious task, and it's like very slow and like sitting there on a computer all day. So the last thing I want to do is just like meander through like dialogue for like 4 hours in Persona.
Yeah.
If I had like really energetic, exhausting days, I think the idea of like talking to characters for like 3 hours sounds great.
Garrett,
it's
all
just
you gotta
a matter
do,
of like what my day to day is like usually.
Garrett, all you gotta do is just put the auto text on, and just read, and just put your controller down, just sit there.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, you can put it on auto. Yeah.
Is that in like the settings? You can change that?
No, you just push square.
Yeah, it'll come up. It'll be next to each like dialogue that comes up,
Okay.
and so you don't have to sit there and hold your controller and keep pressing X. But sometimes
I don't want
the
you to
dialogue's
mistake
not
me. It
read.
isn't that I'm not interested in what anyone's saying. It's just like when they talk and talk and talk and talk after I've had like a very like tedious type of work day. It's like the last thing I want to do.
I feel that. But if you
there
do
are
that,
days
it's
where
kind
I'm
of like
like-
a show in a sense where you're just watching what happens. You know.
I wish
Yeah.
that they would have make the original Persona game in the way of Strikers, because I feel like you would be more inclined to keep playing it more consistently. Because like I said, granted, but then it wouldn't even be Persona 5 at that point. But
Yeah.
the way that
I mean, there's
Strikers
bound to be a moment where or a point in the game where it hooks me more than it has. Because again, you got to remember, I've never played beyond I got halfway through the third palace. I never played beyond that. So
Is that where
everything
you are
after
now?
that will be brand new to me. I think that's why I'm struggling a bit now, because I don't remember everything I played previously, but there's still bits and pieces. I'm like, oh, I remember this. So I know there's like little bits of new stuff throughout, which is cool, that I don't recognize from the original game. So
Yeah.
there's bound to be that moment I hit where I'm like locked in and don't want to stop.
What palace did you originally get to? Did you say?
I was like halfway through the third one. I just can't remember who the third boss was.
Okay.
I was in the third palace. Isn't it like a casino or something?
No,
That
it's
is
the
I remember what it
bank.
was.
I think it's a bank.
Third's the bank. The
that's
casino
what it is.
is the sixth palace.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was something with like vaults or something. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it's a
bank.
bank. Yeah, I mean, if there's a, it's not like a bad part of the game, but it's like not as good as everything else. It would be the part you're at probably.
Yeah,
Like that
Madarame's
stretch
palace.
from the 2 to 3 is it's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
Madarame's is my least favorite palace.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just got to get over this hump and I'll be good to go, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But yeah, I
I
can
might
jump
wind
in.
down with some Persona tonight because I got to work. Or
You
I'm
should.
running sound into church this afternoon, so when I get back, it might be a nice way to wind down for the
That would
evening.
make me very happy if you did that,
I think I will.
because I want you to beat the game really badly. That would make me very, very happy, because I am through the 5th palace now, and I finally hit a point where I got frustrated.
Dude, was
So-
it the Akrumura boss fight?
Yep.
Yeah, dude,
Yep.
that guy
Fuck
is
that fight,
that
dude.
guy is a absolute bitch.
So I was playing the game on normal,
Yeah.
and I kept repeatedly dying to this guy, not because of the time, but because. So, I mean, I'm going to spoil the fight a little bit. So, basically, you have Okumura. He's the boss of this palace. You'll learn about who he is if you haven't played the game or you want to play the game. You know, you'll learn who he is and why we're in his palace. But this fight, he constantly spawns ads or minions to fight for him. And the catch with these minions is that you have 2 turns to kill them all. And if you only just kill one after 2 turns, they all run away and then they'll respawn again. It'll spawn more of them. So you have to cleverly take them all out at the same time. And also, not just kill a few of them, you have to kill them all. And if you don't do that, he'll just keep respawning them. And as you clear one wave of them, he'll change the type of the minion, and they'll get harder and harder to kill. So you get through 4 or 5 waves of this thing, and you get these really hard enemies, and they're so hard to kill that I just couldn't do it. My Persona team just didn't have the strength to kill all the minions in time, and then I would just have to quit, or I would die, or something would happen. So I had to drop the game. First, I had put it on Merciless because I read somewhere that like on Merciless, I think the weakness damage is like 3 times. So it does like 3 times the damage. So, and that was working out really good at first. And then I got to the point where like one of the enemies was attacking me and he just killed Joker in 1 hit. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what do I have to do to get around this stupid fight? So I was like, okay, let's reset a second. Let's put the game on easy. Let's do the opposite of what this said and see if I can manage to get through it. And putting it on easy was like, it was easy. Like I didn't expect it just to blow through it like I did, but just going from normal to easy made the fight so much better. And the time limit wasn't really a factor at all. Like if you're just not like if you're paying attention and doing the fight, like you're not going to hit 0 on the time. At least I didn't. And I feel like I played the game pretty slow. So like every turn I'm like thinking, okay, what could I do? Do I want to use an item here? Do I want to like use a persona ability that's going to be good against this guy? Do I want to use my gun? Do I use like, I like go through this all in my head as like every turn that's going. So anyone can get through it in time. But that fight made me so mad. Like I think I failed it.
It's the hardest fight in the game. He gave
Really?
that fight gave me the most trouble out of any other fight in the game.
Yeah, I think like the good thing about Royal 2 is that you can change the difficulty. I don't know if you could in the original. You might have been able to, but
I think you could.
But I don't think the fight was that hard in the original. At least from what I remember, I don't remember struggling against it.
I agree. I struggled massively against Madarame in the first game, whereas this one I breezed through on my first try. And I don't remember the fight being this hard in the original one against Okumura.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think you're right. I think Madarame was harder in the original because I also breezed through him in this game.
I was able to beat Okumura on normal, but it took me several tries, and that's what's interesting about this game is, of course, I'm not spoiling anything, but the final boss fight of Royal, like period, final boss, I thought I wasn't going to be able to beat him, because the first time I fought him in Died, I was like, man, there's no way I'm not strong enough. But I tried like 2 more times, and I changed up my strategy and was able to beat him just with a different strategy, kind of like knowing how the fight is. And I feel like that's kind of how I got over Okumura. I'm not going to lie, I think I probably needed some luck as well with the Okumura fight, just for, some things to crit or some things to not hit me or whatever. But I don't blame you for dropping the difficulty at all. That fight is insane.
I didn't see like any other way to get it done on normal because like, first of all, I think my whole party was under leveled from where I should have been in that fight. Like I think I was at like level 40 or something, and everything was just hitting me very hard. So maybe my personas are low or something. I don't know. Number 2, Joker's main persona that I had on him was weak to physical damage, and all the minions do physical damage to you. So that's why I was really struggling a lot. So anytime that he got, so also another thing that happens, Okumura will say like target this guy on your team, and all the minions attack one person, so they can very easily just wipe someone out if they get a turn to attack. So if I targeted Joker, I was like, crap, I lose. It's over because I didn't have like any way to block attacks or anything like that. So I was just in a bad situation. That's all it was. But luckily I was able to get through it. But I'm at the part of the game now where the game's getting really, really good right now. Still in like the original part of Persona 5 still, or like, the original Persona 5, but like I went to a new place in Royal with Kasumi where I got to see her persona for the first time, and my goodness, I am so excited to have her in my party when that time comes, because she's a lot of fun, and she's a good character. I enjoy her a lot.
So you went to the new area?
Yes, I went to a different palace, and she was there. Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Do you have any idea who the ruler? I don't know what they forget the term that they call him, but whose palace that is? Okay,
I don't, but I have like an idea, maybe, but I think I'm wrong. So
yeah, I had when I got to that point, I kind of sat down for a while and was thinking about it, and I was completely wrong with who I thought it was.
Yeah, like so there's someone in there you talk to, but I didn't recognize them, so
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But I'm totally in.
You'll be back there in a couple of tens of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt kind of weird because I was like, why am I here right now? Like, is this a little early to be doing this? But yeah, we'll see.
They gotta, tease you a little bit, remind you that, like, there's new stuff coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have been enjoying that. Like throughout the whole game, they've been kind of sprinkling her into the story, which has been kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely I pretty much unlocked the main squad of the Phantom Thieves. For the most part, but I'm really looking forward to the next palace because that's where the fun really starts happening. And then we'll get into the new ending and all that afterwards. But
I love the casino palace. Freaking love it, dude. The song in there is just incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to be reminded what it was.
Yeah, it's great.
But I think I just finished last night. I was grinding through some mementos. I unlocked the arcade kid, so now I'm doing some of his stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I have several confidants maxed now. I have the nurse maxed out. I have Ryuji maxed out. I have one other person. Who is it? Doesn't matter. But I have several.
Who I need maxed out for the final semester again? Who do I need maxed out for the final semester again?
The counselor. Yeah, I think you meet him after the first palace. You should have already met him. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, you can't max him out. You can only get him to 9.
Okay.
It's 9 or 8.
I think you can. I think
you cannot.
So just like whenever he wants to hang,
yes,
take advantage of it.
And he'll eventually, when you get to 8 or 9, he'll just be like, "I'm too busy for you now," and then like,
cool.
"Oh, okay, I'm done with you."
Yeah, actually, just had lunch with him and.
You be my boyfriend. Sure, I can be your boyfriend.
Yeah, I would focus on him, Akechi, and Kazumi. Personally, I think it's worth getting to know them as much as possible.
Yeah, I would say anytime they ask you to hang out, go hang out with them because they don't all ask you at the same time.
Yeah,
ever.
and dude, there is so much more time in this game to where, like, in the original game, I think I maybe had 2 people maxed out, and like I didn't even try in this game, and I was maxing out like everybody.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time to hang out with everybody, but I would prioritize those 3 people over everybody else until they're good, and then you can move on to everybody else. And of course, always prioritize, at least in my opinion, your crew, like the other Phantom Thieves, just because having them pumped up will help you in combat like a ton.
Yeah, I will say I've been lacking on Yusuke. I need to hang out with him more.
Dude, this game made me like Yusuke way more. I didn't realize how funny he was in my original playthrough. Just like the weird comments he makes. They cracked me up.
Anyway, we need to get off Persona 5. We're going to be here talking about it all day, but I'm loving the game still. It's so good.
That's right. We'll talk about it for another hour next week when I'm further into Strikers.
Random last thought I had on Wandavision that I literally just thought of as we were concluding that was after all was said and done, I just couldn't help but Thanos. And I think it's in one of the final Avengers movies. He's like, reality is often disappointing. I was like, oh, this show is not at all what I thought it was going to be. But I thought of that quote at the end. Anyway, you guys have any other games you've been playing? Or are we moving on to the news?
I played a couple other things. So I played Overwatch with both of you guys the last couple of weeks. And also I played with some of my guildies over the weekend. And my gosh, Overwatch is so fun with other people. Like, it is just such a treat. Like, I feel like the game is it's night and day different if you're just playing by yourself, like doing ranked queue and then just playing with friends. Like, playing with friends is so much fun. And I don't know exactly why. Like, how can just playing with friends make that game much more magical than it already is? Like, it just blows my mind because
you're working together with your friends toward victory.
I guess, yeah. It's just the banter and, working together to accomplish a goal, I guess. But it's just, it's so fun. Like, I don't mind just sitting there holding a Reinhardt shield while my friends just take everyone out. It's awesome to me. But I've been playing a lot of Winston, a lot of Diva. Played a little bit of Soldier and Mercy. Been playing a lot of Mercy lately, just healing everybody and getting a lot of gold medals for it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that's been a lot of fun. So I hope we could do that a little more whenever we all have some free time.
I would like that. I would like that a lot. I had some fun as well when we were playing. I'd say our win-loss is probably like 50-50.
Yeah. We got some work to do.
Still really fun.
Yeah. And when we play, it's just the three of us. We got 3 other people that we don't know how we're going to perform.
Right.
So you never know.
Preston and I haven't played Valheim in a while, but we played probably like 2 nights or 3 nights. And we got going there for a while. We did our first like dungeon raid, unlocked some new stuff. We just haven't played in a while, but we made some progress. It was fun.
Beat the first boss.
I keep seeing stuff in that game that is just insane from highlight reel videos. Like you can breed wolves, and I saw this guy use a pack of wolves to fight a boss. It's cool. Apparently there's a merchant you can find somewhere, and all this just crazy stuff that, like, while we're playing, I know that there's a lot more to discover and unveil, but like so much more than I ever imagined is in that game, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of a motivator to dabble in that some more when we have a chance.
Yeah.
That and just continually push my completion of Persona into the future by doing that.
Don't force it.
That
if you're feeling
liberating
it, play it.
Arkham City of its villains for the 6th time in my life. So
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking at my, like I told you, my trophy list, and I saw that I have the platinum for Arkham Knight, but I only have like 52% of the trophies. I was like, what?
It's just like the DLC and stuff.
Yeah, so I opened it. Dude, there's so much DLC for that game. It was like shocking to me. And I'm not going to lie.
One thing I love about Arkham Knight is that all the Batmobiles and like every costume you could ever hope for is in that game. DLC wise.
Well, reading all the trophies, they sounded fun. So I was thinking like maybe one day just like getting the season's pass for that game, because I never played like the Batgirl stuff. I never played the other DLC where like all the villains come back or whatever.
Yeah, I did play both of those. I don't have many memories from them, but I remember liking them.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, I can't imagine them being just like the worst things ever. And I could get some more trophies and play some more Batman. So I thought about maybe, once I'm done with all the other million other games I'm trying to beat, I could jump back into that and finish them up.
That's what I really want is to. That's why I'm going through Arkham City again. It's just I want to re-experience what it felt like to go from Arkham Asylum and City and jump into Night, because although I had a lot of problems with Night, that game really is awesome, and I love just the beginning of definitely the first, like story beat wise, like the first half is outstanding.
Yeah,
and I love just fighting villains and then like taking them to GCPD as Batman and like getting in and out of the Batmobile was just such a cool feeling. It's like my whole life I wanted to experience that as a kid, so like I want to do that again.
Yeah,
I never played with any of the DLC suits my first playthrough, so I want to like experiment with all that stuff.
Yeah, like you, I mean, I recently went back and played it probably like over a year or two ago, and I think it's because we have a 2-hour something discussion on this channel where we talk about it, and we kind of like really get into like our dislikes in that review. I think more so than like the positives. So I kind of have like a tainted, memory of that game. But like I said, jumping back into it, I was, surprised by how much I actually liked from it. Like how much it does, get right. And, it has a lot of issues, I think, mainly with there being hardly any boss fights at all, which is one of my biggest grievances with it. But in terms of just like the polish of the combat and stuff, it is by far like the best Arkham game.
And the gliding is just, I mean, it's pretty good in Arkham City too, but it is just incredible in Arkham Knight. They like perfected it in Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Just the scale of the city's so awesome. The constant rain. Yeah. And like tank aside, the Batmobile is pretty badass to have.
Say what you will about the tank stuff, but just driving around in the Batmobile and just like rocketing out into gliding is incredible.
It's sick.
Yeah. So, and those pyro, what's his name? Pyro something?
Firefly?
Firefly, yeah. I don't know why I said pyro. His missions are awful.
Yeah, they are truly terrible.
all the side villains are awful.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was
the
super
Man
disappointed
Bats
by the side stuff.
I liked the Man Bat ones. He
The
scared
man
the
bat?
Yeah, dude, he's scared.
Didn't he like just like tackle you out of the sky?
He'll just
randomly and stuff?
randomly, like when you're grappling up into a building, it'll just seamlessly go into a cutscene where he jumps out
cool.
at you at the top, and that scared the absolute crap out of me.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
His are good. There's another, like, there's a serial killer guy. Remember him? He'll like he like wears the mask of a pig or something. I remember his.
Oh yeah, I think I remember liking that one a little bit.
Yeah, I remember his being pretty good.
Remember, isn't Penguin, you just continually go to all of his hideouts and fight with Nightwing till you finally catch him?
I think, yeah, that's Penguin or Two-Face, one or the other.
There's something in a bank, wasn't there, like for a side villain? Like I feel like you just went to different banks and
I think was it Deadshot was in the game and he sucked too.
Yeah,
like,
he was awful.
Yeah, there were
Wasn't he in the vehicle fights?
Deathstroke was the tank crap.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
Gosh.
that's, you know, as much as highly, you know, like I said,
that's one thing Montreal had over Rocksteady. It was like at least their Deathstroke fight in Origins was way better than that.
That I think that's probably one of the most disappointing things in video game history for me. Is them showing Deathstroke and you go fight him in a tank. Like,
yeah,
Deathstroke and Batman fighting is like synonymous with like insane like melee combat with Deathstroke and his sword and like that. It's just like, and then they're like, "Oh, let's put it in a tank battle." Like, what were they thinking?
Loss there. That is just major misstep.
Yeah, man, goodness,
Guys, they were just trying something new.
I look forward to that. I can't remember if they put the Batman Forever Batmobile in that game, but
they did.
Yeah, dude, that is like my favorite Batmobile.
They put
of all
them
time.
all in. I went through the DLC stuff, and it was like the Tumbler,
awesome.
the old school Forever one. Every single one was in there.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I look forward to goofing around in that eventually. But I really am feeling Persona. Every time you guys get to talking about Persona, like I'm inspired again. I think tonight I'm going to dabble a bit.
So good.
I don't have an overly demanding day tomorrow, so I might stay up a little late enjoying my new friends in Tokyo.
Hey, that's something I can get on board with.
Yeah.
But last thing I played more WoW. I leveled up my warrior this week. He is now max level, and I'm enjoying like just a completely different play style with him. It's a nice break for my rogue, who's pretty much geared where he needs to be for the next patch, which will be months from now. But still raiding consistently on him every week with my guild and running mythic dungeons, which are like timed versions of the dungeons, and get nice gear drops at the end of them. But the warrior's a lot of fun. Just enjoying the grind of gearing him up and getting him ready for our alt raids, which will sort of replace our main raid. Once, you know, everyone's maxed and geared what they want to be, we'll keep raiding and just use alternate characters that we have, which is fun. So we can just sort of experience the game in a slightly different way, but, you know, still having fun playing together, raiding. And that's it for me this week. That is all I've played. But I am totally ready to get into the news.
Let's do it. I have till like 12 on the dot ish.
Okay.
So
well, let's get busy.
Cool.
Dude, the news. PlayStation VR is not over. I thought it was dead and gone, but they're trekking on. On the PlayStation blog, they said they are pleased to share the next generation of the VR system will be coming to PlayStation 5, enabling the ultimate entertainment experience with dramatic leaps in performance and interactivity. Players will feel an even greater sense of presence and become even more immersed in their game worlds once they put on the new headset. So they're continuing to innovate the new VR system so that fans can continue to enjoy the unique experiences, blah, 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 PR talk. VR, PlayStation 4 developed XVR, improve easy to use while enabling high fidelity visual experience. A single cord to simplify the setup. So, I mean, that's better than it was, certainly.
It's much better.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be that USB Type-C in the front, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Just pop right into that.
Then you pull too hard and it rips the whole console out of your entertainment system. I don't think they got enough slack on that bad boy.
I'm sure they
will.
will.
This is what I'm most excited about. It says one of the innovations we're excited about is our new VR controller, which will incorporate some of the key features found in the DualSense wireless controller.
Oh, yeah.
Along with a focus on great ergonomics. That's just one of the examples of future-proof technology we're developing to match our vision for a whole new generation of VR games and experiences. A lot of development underway for our new VR system, so it won't be launching in 2021, but we wanted to provide an early update to fans. Pace, we mentioned this for you, brother. and for our own sake, as we were very early adopters of PlayStation VR, and Preston has since had Vive, and like that's a whole different world. And I've experienced none of like the super modern headsets, but many of them over the years myself. And of course, they all destroyed PlayStation VR, but PlayStation VR was not bad at all for a first attempt at console virtual reality. So I very much look forward to see how these improvements are implemented, and just on paper alone, it sounds great. So
yeah, dude, if they can just I saw some patent drawings for the potential new controllers. They look very much like the new Steam ones, where they like actually go around your hand, so you can you don't have to actually be holding the controller itself. They're attached to your hand. They've got analog sticks, and if they have the DualSense triggers and stuff, that's incredible. Like shooting guns in VR and having that sensation from the triggers sounds incredible. But yeah,
cool.
If they can just transition, dude, just into kind of like how the Quest is, where the sensors and everything are built into the headset itself, so we do not have to worry about the PlayStation camera, being reliant on that for the controllers and stuff. That they have to go in that direction, because that is the downfall of the PlayStation VR, was having to stay inside of the camera's view. It just was not ideal, and it definitely limited how exaggerated your motions could be, turning around, all that stuff. So if they can fix that and make it kind of on par with the way headsets are now, then yeah, that is a massive step in the right direction.
Do they have a camera attachment for the PS5?
Yes, for you to use your existing, like your old PlayStation 4 camera to do VR, you actually had to email some like support center, and they would just send you a free dongle, which
interesting.
Yeah, I did not care enough, especially hearing now that a new headset could be coming out. Like the last thing I want to do right now is dig out all my old VR stuff to play some kind of underwhelming PlayStation VR games, especially when I have a Vive, which is way better. So for the most part, I think I'm probably done with the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So,
well, what if,
interestingly, what are you gonna say, Jacob?
I was gonna ask him, what if like the new Resident Evil comes out, it's only in VR on PSVR, would you play it then?
Probably not.
Okay.
Especially with it being on PS5 and knowing that there's going to be like higher frame rate, more graphical settings like ray tracing and stuff. I think I would much rather just play it like that.
Yeah. Makes sense. Sorry, Garrett.
That's all right. I was going to say, interestingly, the PlayStation 4 VR headset was almost like foreshadowing the appearance of the PlayStation 5 physically, with the white headset and everything. I'm wondering how the new headset will look in relation to the PlayStation 5.
Maybe it'll foreshadow the PlayStation 6.
They have to have the Halo still, because it is the most comfortable VR headset by far.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's one step ahead they were in the game.
I don't know, the Oculus Next, I think it was called, the wireless one, whichever one it is. Or maybe it's the Quest. Yeah, the Quest 2. That thing is comfortable. Like, it's very comfortable, and it's wireless completely. So
it's still strap based, I think, unless you buy the attachment.
It is.
Isn't it front heavy as well? Because all the innards are actually.
Not really. No, it's not heavy at all.
You're like straining your neck playing VR wirelessly.
I know. I have yet to use a Quest, but in terms of the ones that I have used, I definitely think PlayStation is the most comfortable out of those. Dude, the Vive after about 2 hours is like death.
Mm-hmm.
With just the strap that it comes with, it is atrocious, was so bad because I would be playing Alex, and like I've talked about on here, I'm having an absolutely fantastic time, just enjoying every second, but my face feels like it's just being physically ripped off, so I would have to take a break.
So what part of that headset hurts the most?
It's just the way that it straps to your head, literally with like these Velcro straps. So it's just being.
So the Velcro hurts.
It's not. It's just being like strapped to your head. It just eventually the weight of it just like.
Gotcha.
Gets to you. Whereas with the PlayStation headset, it is just on a halo at the top of your head, like you're just wearing a hat. Nothing's pushing down on your head.
Yeah. So you're saying like because of the weight of the headset, it hurts your neck.
Not my neck, my nose. my face.
Okay, your face. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, like you put the Vive on over your eyes, and then you just like Velcro it to your head. Yeah. Like, so it's like the only way to keep it up is to tighten it, which is putting more force on your face. So
squeezing your head harder.
It's not. It's fine for like an hour or two. Like you don't even notice it. But after a few hours, like you can definitely tell you have this giant piece of technology just like Velcroed to your face.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the reason why I stopped wearing hats so much, is because I was noticing I was getting a lot of headaches anytime I would wear a hat. And I think it's because like there's pressure on my head. Like apparently just putting any sort of pressure on my head just strains my head and gives me a headache. So ever since I've stopped wearing hats, I don't have headaches anymore. It's really weird.
Interesting.
If there's something wrong with me.
Maybe.
Were they just tight? Were they snapbacks? Or
I think some of them were.
Like
yeah.
fitted kind.
Like one that I used to wear at the gym all the time. It was very tight. So
okay, yeah,
that might have been a
looser,
reason,
the better. Because I used to have that experience too. If I wore it too tight, it'd like give me a bad headache. But
I don't know.
I think the best style, because the thing about snapbacks is that yes, you can adjust them, but in my experience, I have a pretty oddly shaped head, so it's like it'd either be too tight or too loose. But the kind that are like I mean, they're very annoying to adjust, but once you get it right, it's perfect. It's the kind where it's like just a strap and like a buckle, basically, like you'd buckle a belt almost.
Yeah.
But like you just pull it through. You don't like lock it in anywhere, so you can like fine tune the fit.
Fine tune the fit.
Yeah, kind of like a braided belt gives you a lot more leniency with how tight your belt is.
Yeah.
Like I have a black braided belt that just makes my life great, because in my experience, belts that just have like the holes. Yeah, it's either too tight or too loose. So
that's
the way to go.
Speaking of the VR stuff, did any of the new VR titles they announced interest you at all?
I overlooked those. I did not see any.
Yeah, none of them interested me enough to even remember what they were. But yeah, they did unveil like 4 or 5 other VR titles coming. Still to the existing headset, but none of them caught my attention enough to want to actually unbox it again and play them. So, but it is cool they're still supporting it.
Yeah, that is cool. That was kind of up in the air for a while what was going to be next with that. So
yeah,
dig it. Speaking of PlayStation, #NotFanboys, more PlayStation games are headed to PC. Originally, this article was only about that, but since I last visited this article, they added a ton of crap to it, and it's so buried I can't even find what the next game coming to PC was, and I've already forgotten.
Days Gone.
Is it Days Gone? Yeah.
It's Days Gone, yeah.
Isn't there one other they talked about? Is it the only one they've talked about right now?
They only talked about Days Gone, but I think it's very evident that a lot more are probably going to be coming.
That's good. I remember Days Gone back in the day. You said if it was on, I mean, now that it's on PlayStation 5, it's also great with the higher frame rate. But back
I literally
in the day,
said
if this was on PC, it'd be so much better.
Yeah, which the PlayStation 5 has fixed all the issues I had performance-wise already.
Looks great, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I downloaded it. I may someday go back to that, but what I played was pretty cool. So that's great that it's coming to PC as well.
Yeah. What's the next exclusive you want to see on PC? Because I think it's inevitable that like God of War will eventually come to PC.
Totally.
Like that. Totally. That's going to happen at some point.
I mean, if Insomniac doesn't dump 60 FPS update on Ratchet and Clank PS4, then I would hope Ratchet and Clank makes its way to PC.
Yeah.
Granted, we have Rift Apart coming soon, so that's all good. But
yeah,
that'd be cool. I mean, Bloodborne, please.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Be sick.
I just want to update. Period for that game. Just 60 FPS, please. Because I still have yet to play the old Hunters DLC. So I would
do it for Sekiro too, with all that. I mean, I know you like got the parrying down, but that's like been my biggest problem with like getting the combat down. It's the parrying. It's like maybe if I had 30 extra frames, I'd.
Well, hey Garrett, surprise to you, but Sekiro does run at 60 FPS on PS5.
On PS5?
Yes.
Oh, great, sweet,
and
even
PC.
More reason to play it.
Yeah. But I believe
spoiled by
there's
Demon Souls
no
PS5.
update for it. But it had an unlocked frame rate on the PS4 version, so just the new power of the PS5 just keeps it locked at 60 for the most part.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think we'll be good at it now.
Digital Foundry video about that as well.
Sweet.
So were you saying, Jacob?
I would love a remastered, or not a remaster, but just like a higher frame Bloodborne. Like I feel like we need that so badly.
Can we just say that?
Yeah,
people have been asking
I'm just
for that for
reiterating.
so
long. Okay.
But also like Sekiro, like I was talking about it at work with a buddy, and like we were just both talking about how we would probably never play it again just because of how punishing the last boss was. Like I spent so much time just like dying
Sekiro?
over and over. Yeah,
He's
that
nothing.
guy's so tough. What do you mean he's nothing? He was tough.
Once you got him down, he was nothing.
No, it took like 15
I thought
tries.
The owl boss, like when you go back
Yeah.
in time to fight the owl, I thought he was harder
And
than the
the
final
burning
boss.
palace thing.
Yeah,
He smoked me too.
that guy was intense.
Yeah, those are like the last two bosses, depending what ending you pick.
Yeah,
So
I think there's 3 different endings.
yeah,
I believe.
yeah, sure.
But-
One being like really disappointing in
Yeah,
terms of what happened.
all fairly difficult though.
Yeah.
There is no easy boss ending for sure.
Mhm.
I think one ending you actually have to fight 2 bosses back to back.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What was the first hard
Brutal.
boss for you in that game, Preston? While we're on the topic.
Oh, I forget all the names. The dude at the top of the tower.
Yep.
He was the first boss
lightning
that,
guy?
like, yeah, it's like, if you don't play this game correctly, you will not beat this guy.
Yep.
Whereas all the
Mhm.
other bosses, you could kind of Dark Souls your way through them.
Yep.
But no, this guy is like, if you do not know how to parry, if you do not know how to reflect his lightning ability, all that stuff, like, you literally won't beat him.
Yeah. I think I also went to the butterfly lady, the first boss. Like that was the first way I went instead
Yeah.
of going to the horse dude.
Yeah, she's pretty intense as well.
Yeah. But I didn't beat her. Like I had to go beat the horse guy, and then what's the boss after that? There's someone else after that.
You fight the horse guy, then the pig with the
That's
flaming.
not a real boss though, right?
He's a mini boss. It was pretty hard though.
Yeah.
And then I believe you go to the top of the tower to fight that guy.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah.
Butterfly lady was tough.
Yes, she was. Anywho,
What are we talking about?
about the games coming to PS5. There was some
Oh, yeah.
leaker on Reddit that, called the Days Gone thing a long time ago, but I think it was pretty evident with like Death Stranding coming and Horizon and just Days Gone, just like that just seemed like a game that would do it. I don't know, it just has the vibe around the game just seemed like it would come to PC. But I wonder how, like, I don't know, I think I'm most interested in like how many games they're going to put on PC. Like, are Naughty Dog's games eventually going to be on PC? Are they going to go that far?
I certainly hope so.
I do too.
There really doesn't seem to be like a strategy or like any sort of predictability of what they are releasing on PC, because they got a new game like Death Stranding, and then there's Horizon and Days Gone, which
Yeah.
are both kind of dated at this point. But
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything if we were going to predict what it would be,
Yeah,
But I don't know if they'll put them all on there.
I think God of War, which I just have a feeling about that one. I think if they put that one on there, that'll probably be like the biggest exclusive they put on PC. But if they start putting like Naughty Dog games on PC, then it's over. Like and by over, I mean like I think they're gonna eventually port everything if they start putting
Yeah.
Naughty Dog games on there, because that's like their prize studio.
Mhm.
Probably them and Insomniac right now. I guess you might put Sucker Punch as well. Ghost is still being praised. Did y'all see that the directors over at Sucker Punch were made like official ambassadors of Tsushima Island for
Yeah.
making the game? Like, that is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is so cool. So
I bet you that game comes next.
that'd be pretty cool.
It just feels like a game that would be on PC.
Yeah.
It's already excellent too on PS5 with the 60 FPS.
I bet.
Yeah. But with
But
the
it
new
would be
God of
cool.
War coming out, it wouldn't surprise me to eventually port this one over.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that's kind of, at least that's what it felt like they were doing with Horizon to kind of get people ready for the next one. So I wonder if that means that, Bend is already making Days Gone 2, which I think they are. I think Days Gone sold well enough to warrant a sequel. That game sold, I don't know exactly the numbers, but I do remember it selling like a lot more than, people thought it was going to sell.
Mhm.
So, but
I
anyways,
know a lot of people have gone back afterwards and played it
It's worth, especially with it being in the PS Plus collections, it is 100% worth downloading and giving it a shot. Because, it is almost like a completely different game. It in terms of like its the state of it, how it performs and stuff, than when it first came out. So, anyways, I move on to the next one so we can get through them all.
Yes, sir. Garrett, want to talk about Dying Light 2?
Yeah, I'll keep it brief because the article is very long, but basically that game is just a total disaster right now. I saw a demo of that at E3 in 2018, and it looked cool at the time, but it just sounds like management's been horrific, and apparently they've rewritten the game story-wise like 6 times, and that's incredibly complex considering they wanted it to be like branching paths and like different endings and stuff.
Did Chris Avellone get pulled off of it?
I don't know.
I think I'm pretty sure some like allegations of him doing some stuff came up, and he had to withdraw himself from that title.
Oh man,
I think so.
But it just sounds like a total disaster, and if it ever comes out at this point, it's not anytime soon. It's not really what I'm anticipating all that much, but like hardcore fans of the first game been waiting a long time, and it sound like they're gonna be seeing it anytime soon.
Yeah, Chris Avellone has been dropped from Dying Light 2 following sexual harassment claims, which that sucks, dude. Because I was, Chris Avellone is an excellent writer. I believe he did KOTOR 2, New Vegas, games like that. So that's a big time bummer. That
dang,
of course, if all the stuff he did was, I haven't looked into it, true, then that's, I'm fine with him being pulled from it, but it's definitely a bummer that he, if he did those things, and also him not being able to write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see if that one ever comes out. Sounds like a Cyberpunk situation, but worse. So hopefully they don't just pre-release it. Just like, we got to get it out there.
That's a bummer.
It sounds much worse than Cyberpunk. Like, this is just like a toxic environment.
That game and the Bloodlines 2 game that's going through kind of like the same thing right now, where everybody's getting pulled off that game. That's just a bummer too. Like,
I think that developer got pulled off of that game.
Yeah, they did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So that's two like, games people have been looking forward to for a very long time. Sequels to very, well thought of like treasured games, just looking like they're just in absolute production hell.
How does this keep happening? It's like the Prince of Persia remake has to essentially have a whole new team. Bloodlines, Dying Light.
I think we're finally.
There's one other game that's happening too.
Not that I think
Metroid,
yeah.
Well, I think probably COVID did not help at all with all these games, and I think Jason Schreier and other journalists have said that this year we would really see the effects of COVID. And I think those games were probably already in trouble before COVID, but all that stuff definitely did not help,
Surely not. Yeah, I mean, this just the beginning of this year has been very slow. And I imagine the whole year is going to sort of be like this. I mean, we'll probably have our holiday games, but, I know I'm a big fan of Blizzard, obviously, and all of their development for all of their games has been very slow and just very, I mean, it's annoying, obviously, because you want to see more content quickly, but you also have to kind of understand, like, this is sort of how the industry is right now, and there's nothing we can really do about it until people get back in the office.
Yeah, for sure.
Which who knows when that's going to be. Hopefully sometime this year.
Another news that could potentially be disappointing, but relatively exciting, is we're seeing some innovation, is that the Pokemon Direct, there was a few things announced, right? But I know the big one was like the open world game.
Yeah,
I think that's going to like lead the
Pearl
front
remake
on this one.
Yep.
So just really quick, Diamond and Pearl remake, how do you feel about that, Jacob?
Very, very excited. Never played the originals, so this is my first chance to jump into a brand new Pokemon adventure that a lot of people cherish, and it's going to be on the Switch, so sign me up.
Yeah, Diamond and Pearl was my jam on DS. I think I actually broke one of the hinges on my DS because I threw it across the room when I was trying to catch a Dialga, and I couldn't get him, so it pissed me off. So I almost destroyed my DS trying to catch him. But I'm a little indifferent on the art style. Honestly, it's like I wish it. I would have. I think I might have even preferred it to look more like Let's Go. But I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm definitely excited because very nostalgic for that game.
Yeah. I'm even excited for Pokemon Snap. Like, I'll pick it up. Like, it'll be fun to fool around with for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't.
All of 10 minutes.
Yeah, not too interested in that one. Even like the original on Nintendo 64, I was never into that game.
Oh, come on.
As much as a die-hard Pokemon fan I was when that game came out, I still
Will this
did
Pokemon
not care.
Snap have like really in-depth camera mechanics? I think it'd be cool if it's like, think about like the photo mode and like Ghost of Tsushima, for example. Like that'd be pretty cool, I bet, for one, Pokemon fans, but also people who really enjoy photo modes in games.
I think it does.
Like imagine the beautiful photos you could see from the community and from Pokemon Snap if they have all those tools in the game.
Yeah, Garrett, I think like compared to like maybe a PlayStation camera mode, it might not have a lot of features, but I think for Nintendo it does. And then obviously we got to talk about the open world Pokemon game,
Legends Arceus.
What are our initial thoughts? Like we didn't see.
Looks pretty bad.
I am excited because they're fine. This is like my dream Pokemon game that when I was when we were kids we would imagine having just like a massive open world game where you could actually like sneak around and physically catch the Pokemon and stuff. But the reveal did not look too good, but I don't know if this is in our news, but it's all but confirmed that the Switch Pro is happening. Like there have been so many leaks and actual like documents come out about Nintendo buying Samsung screens and OLED screens and all this stuff coming out that knowing that there is a Switch Pro coming, this game has to take advantage of that because this looks like it's running on like a PS1 almost from that trailer we saw.
But Preston, they said there were no plans to make one.
Yeah, okay. No. So Switch Pro is 100% happening and I am super pumped to know that this game and like Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4 can, especially those two games more so, but this game can get more of its like what it should be with more powerful hardware.
Yeah, I'm doing the very smart thing here of not letting my expectations go wild. I'm just sort of keeping them in check.
Game Freak is making this game, dude, and like say what you will, but like they don't make games like this. Like they're even Pokemon. Like look at Sword and Shield, dude. Like games,
they dipped their foot in it. It didn't turn out
games
too great.
Not very good. And I like Pokemon. It was fine, but it's like they have this IP that they made and stuff, and like that's fine. But it's just like they're not the best development studio. Not to be mean.
They're very good at their formula. I wish their games were a little harder, but
that's the thing is like I enjoy the Pokemon games, but it's just like after playing, like Persona or any like competent Final Fantasy game, like their turn-based combat is like nothing.
100%, you're right. Yeah, like it almost just feels like Game Freak is a cog in the Pokemon machine.
Like we were just talking about, go back to Persona 5. We're talking like, dude, that Akumura fight, like we got to do all this, and it's like, gym battle.
There's nothing like that in Pokemon.
we're one-shotting everything in Pokemon.
Especially now.
Yeah, it kind of just gets old.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Then like it's been going on for so long that a lot of the designs are just kind of like, like how many of these things are there now? Like it's just, we're getting to a point where it's kind of becoming extremely monotonous. And it's like, what's the point of even buying more of these?
Yeah. So they 100% need to switch up the formula, which I'm really pumped to see Legends do. But will it be good? We will see.
I hope so, man.
You would think with just all that money that they make and their access to like to Nintendo and like the ability to make this like absolutely incredible, like they've got to get some help. Like I'm pretty sure the Breath of the Wild team got some help from Monolith, like making open world stuff. So it's like Game Freak needs to consult with some people that have been in this space before. So
I agree, that's good advice.
Yeah, I'm sure
something tells me they will not do that.
I'm gonna send this podcast to Game Freak.
Yeah, but we'll see. But right after, was it before or after that we got the PlayStation Direct?
I think it was after.
So I haven't seen anything from this. Preston just told me it was not even worth looking at, so I haven't looked at it.
Only like one thing.
It was underwhelming. There were two things that really stood out to me. I mean, when they first started this thing with the PS5 like update for Crash Bandicoot, I was like, oh no, like what are we doing here? But the only two things that stood out to me was I believe it's Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Dude, that game looks awesome.
I remember it standing out to me at whatever. I think it was like the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it was at the reveal.
Or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
This straight up just looks like a super chill, good time Pixar game, and it showed new gameplay, and it just looks amazing. Graphically, gameplay looks super fun. Those cute little furry creature things that follow you around, everything just looks super happy and amazing about this game. So super pumped. Unfortunately, it is delayed until August 24th, so it's going to be a while before we get our hands on it, but it looked great. Jacob, quick thoughts on Returnal. How are you feeling about this game?
I didn't watch the trailer for Returnal, Preston,
okay,
so I don't know.
I am so perplexed by this game. It's a Housemarque game, so I know it's at least going to be super fun, but I still don't know what this game is. I know it's a roguelike third-person shooter, but like all these trailers, I'm still so confused by like what this game actually is. It's coming out next month, a week after Nier Replicant. So I think I'm mainly just gonna wait to see the reviews for this, because this is a actual PlayStation 5 exclusive. Like, so I'm definitely interested because of that. Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
It's not very aesthetically pleasing to me. Every trailer I've ever seen just looks like dark and gloomy, and like she's in the same area the entire game. So
yeah,
I mean, granted, in the game's defense, I have not looked into it beyond just the trailers I've seen. So
yeah,
I'll wait for reviews too, but nothing about it's really stood out to me quite yet.
Same.
So what is it? You just crash on a planet or something? And
I don't know. Like, the trailer ended with it going first person in this house, and it straight up looked like PT. Like, I thought we were about to segment into like a Silent Hills crossover or something.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing some freaky stuff now. What is this?
That's what I'm saying. It has intrigued me for sure. That latest trailer, I am interested, but I think I'm going to wait for the reviews. Yeah. But the big daddy of the show was the Final Fantasy VII PS5 update.
Yes, sir.
And also adding the extra 2 chapters that are featuring Yuffie, which the second I saw her, I got very excited because I don't know anything about her from Final. I mean, of course, I know her from like Kingdom Hearts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about her in the Final Fantasy VII sense. But she, of course, is just looks awesome. She's adorable. I'm super interested in like the Wutai War stuff, like what she has going on with her. And yeah, it looks like her chapters are going to take place when when you fight the Airbuster and Cloud falls and nobody knows where he is. It seems like that's where these 2 chapters are going to take place. So just more Final Fantasy VII Remake sounds perfectly okay to me. So
I'll take that any day.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for that. And it's cool. The PS5 update is free. You just got to pay for the DLC. So sounds very cool.
Pumped.
I'm very
interested.
Coming
out this summer.
Yeah, I would love for there to be some extra trophies added, like from the intergrade version. I would totally play through that entire game again in 60 FPS and get some more trophies. Totally would be down for that. So
I'm not. Please no.
I'm down because there's nothing else coming out this summer besides Ratchet and Clank, which I know that's going to be a fantastic week of games, but just to have the rest of the summer just to go through, Final Fantasy and Mass Effect again, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Mass Effect. Preston, don't forget patch 9.1 is coming out sometime, late spring, early summer. It's for WoW. So you're going to want to get a character ready for that.
I'll be sure to put that on my list.
So you'll have something to do. Don't worry.
You're right.
You too, Garrett. Gotta get your WoW sub active.
Oh yeah.
Gotta start grinding. But yeah, State of Play was not much happening there, honestly.
Yeah, my joke at the beginning of the intro saying like it was disappointing is obviously I'm aware that not every State of Play, not every Nintendo Direct or whatever else, like Ubisoft, whatever they're doing now, can never be like the E3 every time.
Why not?
I get that, but
why can't they be?
it is kind of a bummer to have like. I guess we just have to like we should be preconditioned at this point.
Yeah.
Like we can't have mega expectations with every single one.
This is why I miss E3. Like I wish everybody there just needs to be a time where everybody comes together and just blows their load. So everybody gets just hyped out of their mind. Then you spend the rest of the year, just like looking forward to it again.
Yeah.
You spend the rest of the year not wanting to play what you already have.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like when Nintendo doesn't have a direct for 2 years and they're like, all right, it's coming. And the, most hyped thing we get is a Skyward Sword remake, which again, I'm hyped for, but like, that's it. That's just disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather them have just, released a blog post. Like this could have been a blog post, or Final Fantasy could have just released this on their Twitter. Like we didn't need an entire, press conference for this thing. Or not press conference, you know what I mean.
Man, Final Fantasy VII is so awesome. Remake.
Oh, yeah.
I may dip back into that on PS5 just for pleasure.
Just want to see if they improved those door textures.
Right.
Dude, might as well wait till this summer when you can just replay it.
The photo mode
I was jamming to the soundtrack last night.
The photo mode as well. Man, some absolute sick bastards are going to just do some of the worst stuff ever in this game with that photo mode.
No doubt, dude. We're all here for it.
Tifa is not safe.
Totally honest with ourselves.
Yeah, Tifa and Aerith are just screwed.
I have to be done literally right now, but what we can do is I'm just going to stop my audio. You guys just keep rolling, finish the podcast, and just upload your audio when you're done. I'm going to keep this meeting going because it'll kick you out if I end it. So just keep rolling. I apologize. I should have asked this to start an hour earlier, but I got to bail in like 30 minutes. I got to like let the dog out and do all kinds of stuff before I go. So
very good.
Love you all to bits. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. I hope the rest of the podcast is just thrilling. Some Ask IRG questions. And of course, I'm going to miss the Elden Ring conversation. But all I was really going to say was that I'm very excited. Even the leaked, supposedly old footage looks cool to me. So I can't wait to see like an actual reveal. So I trust you guys will cover that. So love you boys, but I'm going to mute myself and talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye now.
All right, Preston. Finally, he's gone.
Yes, thank
you. So now we can move on to our last story. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So Elden Ring. We both seen the footage. It's very short. Like it's not even like a full clip. It's just like snippets of different things happening.
No, I've seen the whole trailer.
How long is it?
It's like a minute.
Okay. Well, I think we watched the same thing, but it's not like one
there's
full
like,
trailer. It's
there's like
gameplay.
4 different 20-second things that if you put together essentially make the entire trailer.
Yeah, that's sort of what I meant. But we sort of see like a trailer, then like some gameplay and some other things. But do you have any initial thoughts? Or I know we've both been pretty excited about the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. I love like the kind of Norse or not North. Is it Norse mythology? It's the tree and stuff. Yeah, I think that's Norse mythology kind of a vibe to it. Of course, love From Software stuff. Looks like stealth is back. There's a jumping button that's back. It just looks.
There's a jump button.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It just looks just really good. I think one of the most entertaining things that come from this game is just following the Elden Ring subreddit. That is just absolutely hilarious. Just the way that they were reacting to just the way they react to any details whatsoever. It's like the biggest event on earth, but just following this leak the past 2 days, it's just like everybody was just losing their minds, and it was just so exciting to see. But hopefully the actual trailer is gonna be released relatively soon. I know Jeff Grubb and Jason Schreier, I believe, have been saying that. I think Jeff Grubb even said that he would be shocked if we didn't see anything by the end of March. So there's a few more weeks left. But I guess technically he wasn't wrong, because we technically did see something in March. But I don't think this is necessarily what he thought. But it's cool to see. I think this is definitely going to be one of those cases where when we actually see this game, I think the game is going to come out relatively soon after.
You think so?
I think so. I know this was like an old thing, or like some old footage we saw, but I still think this game's coming out this year.
I mean, even in that footage, like there's a lot there. There's a lot of different stuff that they showed. So you got to imagine they've done a lot of work on the game.
This is the longest it's been since a From Software game has been released.
No way.
Yes. The time between all the Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and all that stuff, it has been longer since they released Sekiro, which Sekiro was their last game that came out. Pretty sure. Yeah. It's been longer since that came out since any of their other like times between releases. Mm-hmm. So, and granted, I think this is their most ambitious project, as well with it being.
Yeah, I mean, there's mounted combat here. And at the same time, there's a lot of like DNA of like the regular Souls. Like we see a guy like opening a door just as you do in Dark Souls or something. Like it's a lot of it's the same.
That's what I'm most interested about is how they're going to blend just those two styles together with like a massive open world with a horse to ride around on. That's so just interesting to me.
And I think this game's right up my alley too. It just seems like very fantasy, like fantastical, like medieval art and world design. So it excites me a whole lot.
I know, like I said, I know it's based in kind of Norse mythology with that tree and stuff. Like, so very interested to see kind of what they're going to do with that. Like if we're going to see kind of like notable versions of like Thor, things like that.
Yeah. I wonder what this Elden Ring is. Like, is it an actual ring? Is it like a ring, like
I've
a
heard some people
ring?
Maybe I heard some people say it's like the ring of a tree. Potentially.
That's a good call.
But I love, just like I said, the subreddit is already quoting the guy in the trailer. It's like, "Oh, you tragic thing," and stuff like that. There's just hilarious memes from that voiceover from the trailer. But I'm ready for more From Software. I still got to finish Demon Souls.
Oh my god, I need to play that.
Yeah, so I definitely want to finish that up again before this comes out. So
100% that is my surgery game. Like when I'm in bed for a few days, that's when I'm playing.
I don't know if that's a smart idea. What are you having operated on?
I have a hernia, an inguinal hernia, which is a hernia in your groin.
Yes, yeah. My uncle had one of those.
I'll be in bed.
Yeah, don't need to like strain yourself too much playing Demon Souls.
Imagine like tearing the patch that I get surgically put in by just getting mad.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, what happened? Nothing.
But yeah, I think it looks dope. I hope we see something official soon.
I do too. Hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer. And now it's time for Ask IOG, unless you have any outstanding stories that you would like to share now, Preston.
No, I don't think so. I think that's as far as I can remember that those are the notable things that happened this week.
Yeah, we sort of like discussed before we started the podcast. We're like, is this all that happened? And we thought it was, but we might have missed something, but it doesn't matter. This is Ask IOG. This is the part of the show where we answer your questions submitted by any of our submitted to any of our socials through It's Obvious Gaming, the Ask IOG section on Discord, and through our email at itsobviousgaming@gmail.com. And it looks like we have a few today. The first one is from our boy Gavin, and he says, "Hello, boys. My name is Gavin. I've been enjoying your podcast while at work the past few weeks. Listening to you guys talk about games gives me something to look forward to each work night. My PS4 is my primary gaming device. Hashtag not fanboys. But my friend gave me his Xbox 360 recently. Ew. I've heard from this. I'm adding those cues, by the way. He didn't actually write that. I've heard from previous podcasts that you three played quite a bit of the 360 in the past. What games would you recommend on the Xbox 360? I prefer games that aren't very violent or spiritistic, but I'm glad to hear any good memories you have from that generation of games." So what do you think, Preston? What were your standouts from the 360 generation? For me, Skyrim, but that's on everything at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to think of what was on the 360 because it's been so long.
I mean, I mainly equate 360 to like Halo, COD.
Yeah,
I mean, I played a crap ton of COD. Gears of War, which that is definitely on the more violent side of things.
Oh, I played Bioshock Infinite on that machine.
Yeah.
But you can play that on a PS4.
Yeah, 360, kind of my time spent with it and my memories that go with it are more of kind of like online shooters and stuff, honestly.
That's sort of where we were, like, growing up there. Like,
yeah,
when we were, teenagers, everyone around us was playing Call of Duty or Halo. So that's what we were playing.
Yeah, I mean, I could come up with a few chill games, now on, PC or, PS4 and stuff, because that's kind of where I played them. But yeah, man, my time spent on 360 was just like bro shooters and, stuff like that. Grand Theft Auto, etc. I don't know if I can think of any.
GTA 4.
Maybe Viva Pinata. That's a pretty chill, fun game.
That?
Viva Pinata. That was a rare game where you have like a farm of pinatas. It was fun. That was a really early 360 game.
Is this a game? Are you sure?
I swear. I'm very familiar.
Break the pinatas?
You can, yeah. You like breed them, stuff like that. You have a pinata farm. So
I'm so lost.
That's a pretty chill 360 game. Man,
what came out on 360?
That might be the only one I can think of.
Because, like, for me, I like back then, like, even more so than now, I only played AAA games. Like, I didn't play, and it's not like Xbox had any, like, Uncharted's or anything like that back then. Besides, like, Gears and stuff they've always done. But yeah, I think we're sort of grasping at straws here, Gavin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
But good luck with your search for 360 games. I mean, the good thing about, maybe it's not a good thing for you because you have this console now, but most of those games have been either remastered or, all the great ones have been, they're accessible somewhere else for the most part.
Yeah.
Like a PC and whatnot. But
I'll say look into Viva Pinata. That is a true 360 exclusive. That's a very chill, cute, relaxing game.
There you go. Next question. Lenzo Dak. He asks, hey fellas, what is your favorite game in reference to something outside of the game? For example, Cyberpunk has a ton of references to different things. I know this is old new. I think he meant to say news. But I was just thinking about how much I enjoyed references from my favorite band Between the Buried and me in Borderlands 3. Check out that band, by the way. Solid progressive metal. I was unusually excited after seeing lyrics from that band in the game. Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
I am familiar with Between the Buried and Me. Very good band.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Did you know that they were referenced in Borderlands 3?
I did not know that. I hardly played Borderlands 3. See, I did not know that.
That's one of those games that I got halfway through and just completely stopped playing.
Yeah.
I just wasn't having fun.
Same here.
Not that it's a bad game. I'm sure if you enjoy it, it holds up.
I've never beaten a Borderlands, period. They
never.
So and I've played all of them. So for some reason,
pretty much played them all.
They just don't hold my interest that much. Fun games just don't hold my interest.
So his question here is a game reference to something outside of the game. So and he gave a band for an example.
That's a good question that I don't know if I can come up with anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, this is the problem. We always save our questions and we don't read them beforehand, and we're always put on the spot.
I don't know. That's that is an interesting question that I mean, I play occasionally some games where a quest name will be a very common song title or something, and I'll be like, okay, I see what you did there.
It's funny you say that. A lot of the there's an achievement system in World of Warcraft, and a lot of them are references to just random things in everyday life.
I guess Cyberpunk is probably the last one I did. Granted, he brought that up, but there is a side quest in Cyberpunk where you save a Japanese surgeon and you bring him back to the guy, and he completely recreates the scene from The Office where Daryl introduces the Japanese janitor, and he talks about him being a surgeon. the guy in the game essentially does the exact same thing about
That's
him
awesome.
fleeing because he killed a Yakuza member. So that's probably the most recent thing that made me laugh. So I'll say that.
That's a good one. I unfortunately don't think I have one to even just say, or let alone to that caliber. That's a good one. Maybe I should play some more Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Dude, I've got to beat Cyberpunk. I cannot not beat that game.
Dude, I put 6 hours into it.
I put 80. I put 80 hours into that game. Mainly, like, probably 90% of the time just doing side stuff. I hardly did any single. That's probably why I got burnt out so much. I was doing the same thing over and over again. Because
now you're doing it again in Assassin's Creed.
I know, dude. I'm so sick. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the actual like mission stuff in Cyberpunk, so I probably just need to go back and just play that, just see the end of the story, because I was enjoying the story.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you enjoy Between the Buried and Me?
I do.
Are they like a good band? Should I check them out?
I would check them out. I think probably the only album that I like consistently jammed out to was oh man, I think it's unlike anything that you have listened to. They're very like they have very like long songs. They're like more like I think he said it like kind of like progressive metal. So it's definitely nothing like, you know, like a Veil of Maya or anything like that. But
give me an album cover and I'll listen to the whole thing.
I liked Colors. Colors was the last album that I consistently listened to.
The remix, remaster, just the regular Colors?
I don't know. Like Ants of the Sky. Like all the songs are like 10 minutes, 6 minutes long, like very, very long. But yeah, I remember Ants of the Sky being my favorite song off that album.
All right, I downloaded it. I will let everyone know how I feel about it.
Cool. Very cool riffs in that song.
Oh, nice. I like that. Next question, Aaron Cantu. Howdy, fellas. Here in Texas, we barely made it through the winter freeze after losing power in my apartment, getting down to 20 degrees. Me and my roommate went to our buddy's house. That's rough, dude. It sounded like a lot of people in Texas had some real.
It reminds me when we got stranded during the snowpocalypse in Atlanta a few years ago. That's what this all reminds me of.
Yep. With nowhere to drive for multiple days, naturally, we got very into Minecraft. It was the perfect escape game for us, and I can't imagine spending that many days stuck at his place without it. My question is, if you were in a similar situation and for whatever reason could only play one game, what game would you choose? Thanks for reading. Y'all know I'd give you all a big old forehead kiss if I could. Thank you, Aaron. My game is, well, it'd only be one of two things. If I had internet, it would be WoW. But assuming that I don't have internet because I don't have power, it would have to either be something on the Switch, or if I had some way to power my PS5, I would play Persona 5. But
I assume you can power it. They were able to play Minecraft.
Okay, well, if I have power, then it's going to be WoW or, you know, Persona 5, just for what I'm playing right now. I don't know if I'd necessarily just like start a brand new game and just completely devote everything I have to that.
Yeah.
Just for a snowstorm. But
I would either do Final Fantasy 14, or probably like Demon Souls, because that game I'm definitely probably not going to beat it anytime soon. So it'd be, you know, a lot of gameplay there.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you said an MMO, because, like, you know, they're perfect for like not paying attention to your regular life and just starting a new one online. You know, it's great for that.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't even have to live the snowstorm. You're in a different life now. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But thank you for your question, Aaron. That was a good one. Thank you. And our next one is from Mr. Big Colt himself, and he's piggybacking off of Aaron's question. And he says, I was unprepared for Snowmageddon because I eat out way too much. So when the snowpocalypse hit and all the stores and restaurants were closed, I was left with half a loaf of bread, some Cheetos, and a jar of peanut butter to live off the first couple days. Yikes, dude. If you were in a similar situation and had 3 snacks or food items to live off of, what would you go with? Furthermore, as you're living off of bullshit, what would be the meal you were dreaming of and salivating over with things go back to normal? It was via 313 Pizza for me, Detroit style pizza. Highly recommended if you're ever in Austin. 3 snacks to live off of.
Now, let's preface this really quick. Do calories count?
No.
Okay, so just anything. Like, this is just like,
Yeah,
okay,
anything you want.
Because if we're thinking like realistically like that would affect my decision. But if it's
assume that you're like literally scrapping the remains of the 3 snacks that you could pick that you have left. Like, you're just surviving. Like, you don't even care about like what it is. You just need to eat something, and you want it to be really good. And they have to be snacks. Or does it have to be snacks? It says food items.
I mean, like, what is snacks though? Like, does ice cream count as a snack? Just like,
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Like, maybe we keep it simple, you know? Like, maybe we don't have like pizza and like pasta.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's say something that you can like go to the grocery store and like keep in a bag. Something that you don't prepare, like it's a snack.
Maybe you can find it at a gas station.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that is a snack because if like I have to cook something that's obviously more than 3 ingredients, like you open a bag or you open a crate.
Whoa. I mean, you don't have power. We have to remember that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So then you can't. So what ice cream can't be a part of it.
Yeah, ice cream's going bad.
Yeah, it's going bad. Okay. So, all right. Those are good guidelines we set. I'm going to say, let's go back and forth on our I'll say one, you say one. I think my first one is pretty easy. I'm going to say some sweet chili Doritos.
Sweet chili, interesting.
Yeah, big fan
is that
of the
purple
sweet
bag?
chili. It is, yes.
Okay.
Big fan of those.
When that came out, I was buying them every week. They were good.
Yes.
For me, I would. Oh my God, you're gonna hate me for this. So, I just bought these new Oreos. They're not new, but I was like browsing the cookie section at the store the other day, and I was like, man, I really want some cookies, but I want something that I have never bought before. And, you know, I'm really into the thin Oreos right now. So I'm looking at that section and I see like the regular ones. I see the vanilla cookie with the cream inside. And then I look down one more shelf and I see the thin Oreos, the chocolate cookie with the mint filling. And I'm like, man, I'm buying that and I'm trying them. And Preston, I got to tell you, I've been eating like 10 a day.
Holy crap, Jacob.
They're so good. I'm almost out of my box already. I bought them like 5 days ago.
I cannot buy things like that because I can't have anything like that in my house because I binge so hard if there's just crap.
Oh, what's even worse is that they're on a bookshelf next to my bed.
Holy crap. Yeah, I can't do that.
So I just like get up in the morning, I'll glance over there and be like, you know, don't mind if I do.
Which I don't know if I should use that word. This is not like some people actually do binge stuff. I do not. You know what I mean, though. I would eat the whole box.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2 for me has got to be I need some sort of Hostess cake, like a zebra cake, or I'm gonna say zebra cakes.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do zebra cakes.
Good.
Yeah.
I think if I had to go down that lane, I would pick like a what's it called? The chocolate cupcake with like the little white swirly on top.
Those are
what's that called?
Awesome. I think there's cupcakes, Little Debbie cupcakes.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, dude, the Little Debbie blueberry cake donuts.
I haven't had that.
Dude, I was in the gas station the other weekend and I was just craving something sweet and I just randomly grabbed those and those like rocked my world. They were unreal, dude. They just these soft, moist blueberry super cakey donuts with this glaze over the top of them. Oh, dude, so good. So good.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah. I was also starving too, which just made them taste even better. But yeah, that's my number 2. And your number 2 is cupcakes. All right,
No, I'm not going to use that
one.
Okay. I am going to keep it similar though. I would do donuts, and I would do a chocolate glazed donut from a gas station, but I would get like 5 of them. I would space them out over days.
Dude, I don't know how. I don't know if I've said this before. I don't know how controversial this is, but I would put a fresh Quick Trip donut over a lot of drive-through donuts, including probably Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, yeah, Dunkin' sucks.
Their
donuts are mediocre.
QT's donuts are pretty good. Like,
I agree.
Pretty freaking good. Especially their cream filled, like Boston cream. Those hit pretty good.
Yeah. Especially if you get there like right when the truck's there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like they're just as good as almost as good as a Krispy Kreme. Like,
I wouldn't I wouldn't say that, Jacob. Let's watch it.
So a fresh QT donut is almost as good as a Krispy Kreme donut that isn't fresh.
Okay, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a fresh cream donut right off the conveyor belt into my mouth where it just melts and you don't even have to chew. That's
there's no better feeling in the world.
There's nothing better
Let's
than
go ahead
that.
and establish that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good choice, Jacob, though.
Yeah.
Third, I kind of want to like diversify these snacks. I have something sweet. I have something, crunchy and salty. So I need something kind of like a little savory now. So I don't know what that would be though. Screw it, dude.
Things.
I have a massive sweet tooth, so I'll probably do I'm gonna do the peanut butter pie Oreos.
Interesting.
Either those or red velvet. I love those two.
Ew.
I'll do peanut butter pie though.
Okay.
I'll do that.
I could do the peanut butter pie. I'm not doing red velvet though.
If I'm stuck in a house during a snowstorm, I'm just gonna put myself into like a diabetic coma. I'm fine with that.
Number 3 for me would be Trolley fruit punch gummy worms or sour worms. They are so good. I'm sure you've had them.
I have. I'm a fan of the sour worms.
The fruit punch ones, I believe, are the ones that are red and purple, and then I think there's a red and orange one. Then there's a red and blue one, all in one bag. But it's all the ones with the red. But they're so good. But I'm a huge fan of Trolley gummy worms. Like anytime or the sour gummy worms, excuse me. There's a difference between sour worms and gummy worms. Gummy worms suck, but sour worms are the bee's knees, as the old people say, I guess.
I
don't know who says that anymore.
I'm more of a chocolate man myself, but I do enjoy the occasional gummy treat.
Yeah. Well, I already had 2 chocolate items, so I don't want to.
You can never have enough chocolate, Jacob. Come on now. I can at least.
I mean, I have chocolate protein, so.
Yep.
I have had chocolate protein for years. Just don't change it when, isn't broken. It doesn't work.
For sure.
All right, we got 2 more questions, so let's bang them out. Thank you for your question, Big Colt. Big Jake 23 asks, hey boys, congrats on 6 years. I was thinking that it would be cool if a game would mess with a player during the choosing difficulty section. Like when someone would choose hard, it would actually be easy. And if someone who isn't that good at games would pick easy, it would just troll them and the game would be actually on the hard difficulty. My question is, what are your favorite times games have trolled players or like meta stuff in games? I don't know about this question.
Probably mine has to be, this is a very common one, but and it's a little spoilery as well, which I think you kind of have to get into a little bit of spoiler territory with these because, inherently, if I'm telling you that easy is actually hard or whatever, that is spoiling the surprise. But anyways, it's got to be probably the Arkham Asylum Scarecrow fake out. That one actually got me pretty good. The whole messing with your TV thinking that the game was glitched out, I wholeheartedly believe that something had gone wrong in my game. So that one definitely got me. And of course, probably like the most famous one is the Psycho Mantis fight from the original Metal Gear Solid 1, where he would actually like read off, if you had specific games on your memory card, he would tell you that you had played those and stuff. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and also mess with believe your screen and stuff. And the entire game, Eternal Darkness, it's pretty much built around that concept as well, with like messing with like your volume settings and your brightness and all that stuff. That's pretty much one of the gameplay mechanics of that game. But the Arkham Asylum one is probably the one that stands out to me the most.
Yeah, that seems like a good one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't think of anything.
That's the only one I actually experienced firsthand without knowing about it. Whereas, like, I knew about, the Psycho Mantis and the Eternal Darkness just from people talking about it. But.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, Garrett's not here for this last one, but he is included in this question. This should be a fun one from Alexander Salamander, and it has a lot to do with Final Fantasy XIV. So get ready, Preston.
Oh, Lord.
He writes, boys, gentlemen, future warriors of light. Let me start off by saying this is not a question, but rather a super duper serious series of demands related to the immensely important topic of Final Fantasy XIV. Firstly, Preston, I know you have played FF14 in the past and pretty recently, if I remember correctly. My demand is that you continue come back and enjoy our free company as whatever class you are playing, and I will be satisfied. Secondly, Garrett, I demand that you forget all thoughts of Hunt Showdown and any urges of ever playing it again, so that you may join us in Eorzea? Is that how you say that?
Yes, Eorzea.
Eorzea, and heal us with your scholarly charm. If this demand is met, I will yet again be satisfied. Last but not least, Jacob Thick Thighs Alka. My very simple yet great demand is that you leave that basic bitch arcade of a game where you craft wars or something stupid like that and join us in Eorzea, so that you may charm us with your rogue and eventually join me in the way of the ninja. Do this and I will be immensely satisfied, especially seeing those thick thighs sneak around. Now, if these demands are not met within 72 hours of reading this on the podcast, Dogecoin and all Dogecoin investors will be in contact with you gentlemen and your lawyers for financial compensation. This was a very long and ridiculously thought out joke that I had absolutely no reason to do, but I enjoyed the thought of it. With love from your friendly neighborhood salamander. But for real though, join us few that keep the FF14 channel alive, especially my MVP father, Kyle.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Bojangles.
If I can join your free company, 100% I will. I don't know if I have to be in like your realm or whatever, because I already paid money to switch realms to be in the same one as Kyle, and we've still never played with each other, and that's totally my fault. Because I go through so many stages where I play the game a lot and get off of it because I'm playing something else. But I'm a Dragoon, and if I can join your free company, then I 100% will.
Are they a damage class? Or are they like a tank?
Yeah, I'm damage.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would probably definitely play like a ninja or something if I was ever to play.
Yeah, I believe ninja was one of the newer added classes, but what's cool about the job system in 14 is you can just change it.
Yeah, you just have one character.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I've always wanted WoW to be like that because it would just be so easy just to stay on my character and just, change my class entirely. That would be cool. But yeah, I mean, I've never like ruled out playing Final Fantasy 14, but it's just like, man, that's so much work to like play through all the expansions, get leveled up, like gear a character, and then go into a raid when I'm already doing that in another game. Yeah, like it's just, and then it's not like I'm not happy playing WoW. Like I still really enjoy that game, and I have friends that I play with every week. So it's like, do I want to drop all that just to do it with people on my Discord, which would be fun? Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like, and it's not even a game that really thrills me that much. So again, it's not because the game is bad. Like, I'm sure it's fantastic. A lot of people play that game. So I mean, maybe one of these days, I'm never going to rule it out because I did try it on the PS4, a couple of years ago, and it was a lot of fun from what I played. I just never, when I think I built my PC, I never just made that transition from the console to the PC client, and and obviously, like when I had my PC, I wanted to play Overwatch, and then shortly after that, I jumped into WoW. So it's Blizzard's already got me by the throat. Like, there's not much anyone can do now. But that was a great. I guess it wasn't a question; it was a request. So
yeah,
thank you, Alexander.
Definitely, we will do it.
Yeah,
or I will do it. I will join your free company. I got to figure out how to do that though. I don't know how to do it. So I guess after you hear this, just like send me a message or whatever, and we'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure they all will. I'm sure you'll get a lot of pings. Preston. All right. Unless you have any more closing thoughts, Preston, that is our show this week.
I don't think so. I hope you can finish up, get deeper into Persona, and I will stress to you again, Strikers is incredible, and it has completely blown away any expectations I had for it, and I cannot wait to jump back into that game to further continue the story of some of my favorite characters in gaming. So
yeah, I guess what I get hung up on is that it doesn't proceed royal, so that kind of bothers me.
But beat royal first.
Oh, of course,
and
yeah.
It will be fine. It will.
It follows the main ending, right?
It does, but it does, but it's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. So you just learn more and experience a new journey with the original cast.
Yes, but
up until Haru.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Gotcha.
First
things first.
Going into this game after Royal, I will say, even though it's technically not after Royal, it makes sense. It's fine.
Okay.
Royal's. I will say that Royal's ending is different than the original Persona 5's ending, but not so much to where this game still doesn't make sense.
Gotcha.
Even though it's technically not after Royal, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Wait, so how many months after does it take place?
It takes place the summer, that following summer.
How long is a semester? It's like
the semester
2 or 3 months, right?
No, the semester I believe the game ends in February or April, I believe.
The original game?
Both, dude.
Both?
Yeah.
How does the original Persona end?
It does.
But there's an extra semester in Royal.
I don't want to spoil stuff, Jacob. I don't want to spoil stuff.
I'm just like nagging you to spoil everything.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything else. It makes sense. Everything makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
Let's let the people go.
We'll let it in there.
I need to go play more of this game.
Yeah.
Clearly. Thank you guys, everyone, for watching this week. You know where to find us in all of our socials. Please join our Discord. It should be in the link below. It'll be on YouTube. Be on all our podcasting services. But yeah, please continue to write in, send us questions every week, and just keep joining the conversation in Discord. I'm not sure how we don't really have a schedule anymore. We try to just get around to doing this whenever we have time, which for the time being has been like every other week for the most part. But maybe we'll get to a point where we can do it every week again. I know we were trying to do it last weekend to do a consecutive podcast, but I think I couldn't do it on Sunday, so we just didn't do it. But we will definitely be reconvening to do this again very soon. And like I said, please send in more questions because we love including you guys into the discussion.
Yep.
And also write in and DM us if you want to be featured on an episode, because we like to sort of keep a list of people, and then when the time comes that we want to get more people on the show, we can just sort of have that communication ready where we can email you and set up when we can sort of make that happen.
And there's definitely going to be a few episodes where I'm out of town where I might not have time, so that'll be good
which would be a great time to have a guest on.
Yeah.
When one of us isn't here. So please do that. And Preston, hope you have a great week. And I will see you next time.
Same to you. All right. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.